Welcome, everybody, to another Delco Nerd Network Rewind review, where we sit down and talk about some of our favorite film franchises of the past. On this season, we are talking Harry Potter, the Wizarding World, to be exact. Joining me, as always, is Mr. Anthony Gooch Ragucci.
I killed Sirius Black.
Mr. Casey Wellman.
Yo.
And Matt Penza.
Oh my god.
Guys, after that amazing intro, we are here to discuss Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I'm really excited, but let's get into it. Initially released July 15th, 2009 with a rating of PG.
Wow.
I noticed that.
I didn't realize
It blew
that.
my mind when I saw that at the end.
You know, now that I think
toned
about
down.
it, there's not a lot
There
of...
isn't.
There's action at the end, but there's not a lot of fighting, which would...
It's a lot of fantastical violence.
Would push that 13
Yeah, but I'm
rating
still
over.
surprised.
Interesting that one scene didn't push it.
Exactly.
The blood one?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think the one with Malfoy? Or which one?
Oh,
I
that
said,
one
like,
also.
like the
end scene.
biggest
the
scene
end.
in the whole movie. Like,
but
I'm
again,
surprised
he's
that didn't do
getting...
it.
It's not... So we'll talk about that.
Right,
I think I
right.
know why it technically skips by, but it's weird how
No fun
ratings work.
facts about the ratings?
No, the fun fact was that it was PG, and that honestly, because I just assumed this whole time, like, I didn't even check the rating.
You would assume
because
it
I
was
just had
PG-13,
assumed
yeah.
that it was
Right.
PG-13.
Right.
So that kind of blew my mind.
This
But
is the first since Chamber of Secrets, right?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that I just assumed once they crossed that line, they just didn't never look back.
They were going for R by the end of it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah. This is
could- they, like,
it's
could
a
have.
Venom
No, I mean,
situation, yeah.
exactly.
Slogan,
It'd be
we've been
sick
here.
to see like a TV MA.
yeah, it would be.
Release of this,
Even just
yeah.
like, I don't know what they. It's
Not
really
that you have
sex.
to overdo it.
That stuff that really seems to get you over the
Curse
R
words
thing.
also. With you're talking about like TV.
True.
Or like
Gore
they could
and
get pretty
stuff.
gory with certain
But
stuff. Not that
it's-
it's described that way, but you could.
No, violence-wise,
that
it's that's the joke. Like in America, you can put a person getting stabbed, and it'll
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
be PG-13. But if you show any type of like sexual, like a boob, that's R
Oh
immediately.
yeah.
No, it's very interesting how there's a documentary. I think it's called "This Is Not Yet Rated," or "This Film Has Not Yet Been Rated," and it's about the MPAA like rating system and all that. Very interesting how it works. With a production budget, though, to get back to Half-Blood Prince, of $250 million, which is $100 million more than the previous entry, which I thought was kind of interesting. With an opening weekend of about the same, $77.8 million. So not like a 0.7%, not percent.
What weekend
jump.
did it open?
It opened July 15th. So another summer release on this one.
I
Okay.
wonder if the Harry Potter fatigue is just kind of happening, and once we get to Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2, it'll just ramp up because it's the last few movies. Like maybe
I would definitely say
maybe
by
that's
these
what it
numbers,
is.
it's at least plateaued.
'Cause,
It hasn't necessarily dipped.
Even I think I like when those first few Harry Potter movies I was hype about, and then I feel like once we're in the middle, it kind of just like wasn't as hype because it's been around.
Sure.
So
No, that makes sense. Of course, directed once again by David Yates, with the original novel written by J.K. Rowling, and the screenplay this time was by Stephen Kloves.
he's back, baby.
No, he's
Steve
not.
Garlic Cloves.
Nope, it was Michael Goldenberg for the last one.
No, he's back because
Was he?
was,
That's right, he was in the
Yeah.
other one.
How could you forget
Returns,
Steve Garlic
yeah.
Cloves, man?
Correct. I'm sorry. I
Are
don't
you
know how I
fucking
did.
kidding
I'm a
me?
piece of
We've talked
absolute
about him,
garbage.
too.
Have we brought up garlic cloves? I don't even remember
Not
that.
Garlic
not
Cloves,
Garlic
just
Cloves,
Steve Cloves.
Yeah,
Probably
no, that's,
offline. We've talked.
that is
Garlic
funny
Cloves,
that's come. I love the dialogue in this movie a lot. There are a few
It's a
really
very
good, just like
dialogue-heavy
haha,
movie.
like and like that just made me smile genuinely. But we'll get to that. With the description here, as always, from our friends over at IMDb.
All right, drum roll.
As Harry Potter begins his 6th year at Hogwarts, he discovers an old book marked as, quote, the property of the Half-Blood Prince, unquote, and begins to learn more about Lord Voldemort's dark past.
Okay, you know what's funny?
Pretty good.
The title is very interesting because I feel like it's like not relevant until like almost the very end. Like the title doesn't really tell you what the movie.
What do you mean?
About.
It's immediately relevant once he picks up the book.
Right,
Well,
but like that book
the
is
significance of
like what that is.
the book
agree with you.
itself has
Yeah,
nothing to
yeah.
do with what's going on.
That's
it's
fair.
Who the Half-Blood Prince is.
That's true.
It's not like the book like unlocks him to do something. It just kind of
That's
it's
true.
just the thing.
It is.
That's
It
an
does allow.
adaptation
Yeah,
difference for sure.
it does allow him to become close with Slughorn too.
It's a bit. It's
Oh, okay.
definitely more
So-
flushed out in.
the book.
Yeah,
In the book.
heavily,
The
yeah.
book is more
a lot
fleshed
more
out.
scenes
Oh, yeah.
where it's relevant. Yep. Yeah.
This movie tricked me.
Well, like they're like
Again, by the
trying
way.
to. Like
Tricked you?
Hermione's
Yeah,
pretty
I-
obsessed with figuring out.
I didn't mean to derail.
No,
you.
it's okay. I just will say it got me. I thought I was like by the end. I was like, yeah, the Half-Blood Prince is this person. and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
And then I don't know why
Okay.
I completely forgot
I
who it actually
did,
was.
I did as well.
It tricked me again. So I guess that'll
forgot,
tell you something
though?
about.
yes,
That's,
genuinely.
that's fucking awesome.
No, I
Genuinely
forgot too.
forgot.
I
Oh,
genuinely forgot, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh fuck!" It was
Yeah, I was
actually
like-
nice
I'm
to
like,
kind of
it's
see that
not
reveal again.
Voldemort, obviously.
Are you guys in that territory now with these
I'm
where you kind of forget what's
somewhat,
going on?
a
Like-
little
Oh,
bit.
I
for sure.
totally forgot Half-Blood Prince. This
I
movie
f-
was like watching for the first time.
Cool.
I really
Cool.
forgot
Except for
the
in
connective.
the end, obviously.
Yeah. I
Okay.
forgot like the connective tissue stuff really more than anything, like how well the movies lead into
Gelled.
each other and set each other up. But even there's one moment I have a question about in this near the end
Okay.
that I'm curious about. But guys, let's just get right into the review. What did we think about Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince? Mr. Penza, please start us off.
I mean, I thought it was really good. I think it's Order of the Phoenix in this one, books, and even for movies for me that I enjoy the most. I don't know. You become a Snape stan when it's all said and done, and like Snape's an important figure in this. I don't know. It's up there. I'm curious to see what you guys think because I'm still like I don't know where I rank the movie yet.
Interesting.
I'm still debating it.
You're still kind of simmering?
Yeah.
As a jumping off point, real quick, the ranking for this was very hard.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was like,
I'm not
I
even
don't know
fleshed
where
out,
I'm
yeah.
slotting this. Like, it's not low, but like, I'm like, is it number 1? Is it number 2? Number 3? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Casey, what do you think?
So I guess to your point, Gooch, about God damn it, I can't remember your point right now.
Where to rank it? Like
The
how to rank
ranking?
it?
Yeah, the ranking's tough. It was something else, but I'll come back to it as it comes up naturally. But the ranking's gonna be very tough. The
ending?
first time I don't even remember.
Okay,
I'll
okay.
get to it.
That's cool.
It was like there and then it went. The first time, way back when I saw this, I kind of made a comment about this earlier. I just thought this is a setup movie. Like knowing what we knew, like having read the books and all that, I'm like, I was very disappointed in this when it first came out. Like it was still the
Well,
Harry Potter
I
hype.
I can understand that.
So I was very bummed, really, because there was so much exposition that had to happen in this, and I didn't
Right.
feel like they gave that. But like from where it goes from here, they didn't really have to. They just kind of cut stuff out that, for the sake of bringing it to the screen, they kind of I guess had to with the direction they were headed with it. But watching it again was nice because I haven't read the books in a couple years, so I'm removed from it more so, which has definitely benefited with the overall enjoyment of the series for me. So I liked it a lot more this time. I thought, like to your point, Trey, there's a lot of funny lines. It's a funny movie, like a lot more comedy in it, like levity, especially when you go from like the heavy shit that happens
For
at the
sure.
end of Order of the Phoenix into like,
Another
it's
year. at
it's
Hogwarts.
it's almost so comical to me that sometimes I have like a hard time picturing how Harry's dealing with everything because I'm like he's like silly, but there's a lot of heavy shit that just happened
For
in
sure.
his life, and it's starting to get real serious.
Continues to happen.
Dumbledore brings him into the fold like for real in this
Yeah.
movie
Mhm.
and book. He's like now an instrument, not he's a willing participant in a way, like
For sure,
instead of
for
just
sure,
being
yeah.
like guided and overseen from like a distance. He's like now involved. So this is another turning point in the series, as I keep saying. They're all kind of have their own addition, and this is a big one because now Harry's like in the fray. He's involved. Dumbledore's treating him like an adult for reasons that we'll get into. But
Sure.
yeah, definitely better to see it again in a very long-winded response. It was good this time around. I really, really enjoyed it.
I
We're
just don't know
here.
where I'm
We
gonna
are
put it.
here for the long.
I definitely want to
response.
return
Yeah.
to the book changes because I feel like we haven't had with any of these movies. I don't think we guys have mentioned like book changes and things that have been taken out and put back in, but it sounds like this one has the most taken out, like entirely.
That's the point I was trying to remember.
Yeah, we
the
definitely
last-
need to go back to that.
They switched some
Yeah.
stuff up. Like
5, 6, 7 are where the movies really start to stray.
Take some
in terms
liberties.
of- yes, take some liberties and kind of just
parse
Streamline
like
things,
King
would you
James.
say,
exactly,
in a way?
Exactly. It gets very rushed. It's probably, and that's going to happen because they're the bigger books, but you're coming to the end and you have to get there. You can't do 3 movies or 2 movies even for like each of them. You know?
I will say it is funny looking. I was in Target the other day and I saw they had the whole collection sitting there, and
How
it's
much?
funny how it starts of the books.
No,
How?
how much?
Oh, I can't remember. I'm sorry.
I'm
I
curious.
think I got
what
it for
goes.
It
like
wasn't
40 bucks
the book.
not
It
long
wasn't
ago.
that much. I think it was like $60,
Yeah.
maybe
Okay,
something
that's not
like
too
that.
bad.
I mean, the books on their own were like
Yeah.
8. I think
Like
something like that.
paperback's pretty affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was
I
just
got it
funny
not
seeing
long
them
ago.
just go bump down the line, just get thicker,
Thicker.
and like
5 is like
yes,
fat,
5 is a
6
fat.
cuts it down a little, and 7
Yeah, yeah,
jumps
yeah.
up
I
again.
was very
4's
interested to
huge
see that.
too. Really, the last 4. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But even I picked up the Sorcerer's Stone. I was like, this is much thinner than I would have anticipated.
Right.
But Gooch, what about you?
Well, the horniest Harry Potter movie there is for sure. Obviously, Goblet of Fire has been totally usurped. This movie's fucking horny as shit. Like minute one.
I mean, it's all taken up by Ron's fucking.
Oh my
girl.
god! I'm like,
Was
what?
Goblet of Fire horny? Or are you just talking about
No,
the
like
ball?
with the dance stuff. Yeah, it gets horny.
You felt like there was more.
not like classical,
Well, like-
and,
Yeah.
like upscale, but horny.
No,
Yeah.
like teen horny.
You returned all my floor de la
Oh my
flora.
gosh.
No, not necessarily.
To the
but
fair.
I'm just saying.
Delco.
No, I
the
get.
fact.
I know what you know. We were
Yeah,
talking
this
about
movie-
like they
this
were.
movie
I
amps it up.
didn't hear it.
This movie amps it up, but in a more like. Nah, never mind. It just amps it up.
No, it's just there. I
The
agree with you.
PG
It's 1,000%.
The
Yeah.
newest PG entry ramps up the horny.
Exactly.
What I noticed about this film is like, okay, like we are culminating, like for the sake of the books, the penultimate book. So like, what do? We get back to basics. We do our final year at Hogwarts. Yeah, we're in this together, guys.
Not by their choosing.
But it's like, what else do you do too? Also,
Right, but like, Deathly Hallows is not a normal year at Hogwarts, so
I thought-
we get a
Okay, I
final.
thought you meant like this is like their-
somewhat normal year at Hogwarts. There's not a lot of weird stuff going on at school. Obviously, like this book really revolves around, in my opinion, Draco. Like he is kind of not really the focus, but the focus.
lots of
because
shots of him stewing.
He's going through okay, am I really gonna become a Death Eater? Like, my dad is in Azkaban. My mom is like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like doesn't know what side she's on.
Well,
where
she's
her
kind of
loyalties
yeah.
lie.
Right.
She's definitely not as set for
Right.
sure.
And,
yeah.
and a lot of people are putting a lot of pressure on me to perform. And, what he's supposed to do in this movie, obviously, he does not do. And, he's probably, just as confused about his role as the start of the film. So that's kind of what I noticed with this one. It's like Harry, Ron, and Hermione have their own internal conflicts and stories, especially with their relationships. Ginny and Harry, they're like on each other in this movie, and I've never really noticed them flirt, have any sort of looks this whole series, but this movie they start that. Ron and Hermione, the last movie, they start having those moments. In this movie, it's ramped up real hard.
I would even say in Goblet of Fire they started having those moments. Ron and
yes,
and Hermione.
actually, yeah, you're right. So like, within the main trio, like again, the internal plot, the internal
Shut up.
storylines are being fleshed out, while the external is happening with some of the side characters,
Yeah.
and then obviously the end is the big culmination of just kind of all those little plot threads sort of coming together a little hard.
To just speak to that stuff, I found the Ginny Harry stuff to be very just like, it's happening.
Right.
Throw it against the wall.
Yeah.
That's happening
Cho-chang,
now.
outta
Like
here.
I know there's some longing looks passed from Ginny. I feel like in the other movies maybe a tiny bit, but that one did feel a lot less.
Yeah, he's looking at her differently.
Yeah.
and they're really laying it on hard.
They do when Harry first shows up to the Weasleys,
The bird.
and and he says hello to everybody. He gives like Ginny a look, and he's like finally
Like he's like, oh, you're
And
hot.
she's
Yeah.
like, Mom, Harry stuff is down there. I would know if Harry Potter was in my
Again,
home.
by the
But
way,
even-
but that just
Hedwig. She's like,
Yeah.
Harry's here.
the interpersonal moments in this like those moments are so good in this movie for some reason. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was having Steve Kloves back, who like knows the characters very well. But again, that was just another great example.
Yeah.
Also,
I think I'd know if my best friend was here.
Yeah.
they're all
you
like,
fucking daft bitch.
also, I'm sure this wasn't on purpose, but I find that the girl who plays Ginny looks a lot like his mother. Did you guys
She
know
does.
that?
Yeah.
Like, who's
Like,
Yeah.
like,
Lily-
like,
Lily
Ron, like
Potter.
Harry's mother.
Is it that's a
Probably
that's
not. I assume that's
stereotype.
not a Harry thing. Like I
that's
assume
a
it's not a
weird,
book
I
thing.
agree with that.
That's
actually.
like a-
Right?
She does.
Like,
the actresses
not
look
a
very
saying
alike.
that
I don't think
that-
that's. Yeah,
that
I know what you mean. They kind of. It's
boys
usually
love their
people who.
moms,
It's
in a
usually like
weird-
guys go
Oedipus
after girls who
complex.
act,
Yeah.
but
Is it-
not
is it-
necessarily
Is it an
like
Oedipus
looks
complex? Is
wise.
that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
an Oedipus complex.
Yeah, but I do not believe that was deliberate.
I don't think.
Yes, I would agree.
I want. Yeah, I totally agree with that too. That was
the
just
observation
something
is, I think, correct.
I observed this time. Yeah, but I don't know.
The
Overall, I
actresses.
think this one was very well done. I can't talk about the script writing enough. And again, those levity moments didn't feel like they were taking away from anything. They felt like they were genuinely just moments between the characters. Even there's one part where Dumbledore is like, after Ron has the whole thing with the other girl, and when he's in the hospital bed, and he's like, to feel love's keen sting once again. Like, just great little times that are really well done.
You know what's funny with lines like that? I'm always thinking, what would have Richard Harris delivered? How would he have delivered this?
No, it's true.
I
It's a
like
very
a
interesting
lot
thing to
more
think
so-
about.
serious.
Spokenly, I think.
Right.
But
It would have just been like Dumbledore. He's an interesting character because he doesn't act his age. He's almost like
It's because he's
What
a
do you
wizard.
mean?
Yeah, I mean, he's 156. Yeah.
right, but like you think he would act more like he's wise, but in like a kind of spry way.
But again,
especially with the actor.
I think Harris was definitely, that was his name, right? Am I
Yeah, Richard Harris, yeah.
was definitely more of the classic Merlin old man with a really long white beard that's very, like, almost like ancient old, like he's been around forever.
Sure.
Whereas, like, Dumbledore does, I don't know how to describe it. He does feel a bit more savvy. And again, I loved seeing his
Right.
fashionable suits in this before he went to his nice, comfortable wizard robes. Sure, that could have been because he was out in the muggle world, but I like to think he still hadn't switched by then.
as unfortunate as it was, like just on that whole
He's just
topic,
confident.
I still can't believe they cast Richard Harris. Like that didn't
Like, what were
Right, it didn't occur to them
Just
that he might
seemed-
not live.
That just,
like,
they
just
had to have known it.
off,
Or at least
yeah.
not even known it, but like assumed to a degree
maybe,
that he
like-
might not have made it through. Like, that's at least 10 years of filming. Or,
I
8 years,
assume
whatever.
if you make that like film decision, and you get like an actor like that. It's you don't think of, hey, is he gonna make it or not? You think like, now let's handle like the now and then.
You're probably,
No,
and
no,
especially
no.
back
Really
then,
bad,
they're
yeah,
like, let's get this movie off the ground. Let's not, we can't afford to even think about 3 movies down or whatever it is. Was the 7th book written by the and out by the time this movie was out?
I'm
I don't
pretty
think-
sure, but what year did this
I
release
forget.
again?
2009. I can look it. I can Google.
Actually, I could be wrong about that.
God, guys,
I
Modern
remember
Warfare
going to the
2 is
I
out
remember
by now.
going to the midnight. No, yeah, because these came out in high school, and I went to the. No, yeah, they did.
I think it was
'Cause
out.
It was
book.
out because
I think
I
that's
got
part
the
of my
midnight.
disappointment.
We were in grade school when I went to the midnight.
It was
review.
2007.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember. Okay, yeah, I couldn't
The
remember. how
book came out in
quickly it turned.
2007?
Correct. Yes,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
And by the
uh,
way,
okay.
Modern Warfare 2 is not out yet. It was
Yeah.
later that year. Assassin's Creed 2, Modern Warfare 2 were released. 2009 was like one of the best years in gaming.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That's when I got my 360. That was one of the best years.
Yep.
one other thing that really stood out to
Hell
me, though,
yeah.
in this movie, and I felt like maybe it was just the
Thief
times.
that, was Thief that year as well.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, Thief was not that year.
Thief is pretty good. One thing that really stood out to me in this.
But at the
and
same
I-
time, Thief has always been. No, yeah,
exactly. It's
Thief
exactly. You can't
is
be
a constant.
it's-
I mean,
it's
you're
the
not
constant,
wrong.
it's
Thief
the
was
best.
out at this point.
It was. I mean,
No.
it's
So
it's
it
never
original.
constant.
It technically
It's like
was
God.
Game of the Year.
Yeah. I
Game
mean, it's
of-
game of the
game of the
lifetime.
decade. Game of the
Lifetime.
decade.
World.
Lifetime.
Game
Sorry.
of-
Game of
game
the
of-
lifetime.
game of-
Sorry, go ahead. Drew.
Game of life.
No.
Human history.
All right.
Couldn't help myself.
I feel like this was the time when it first started, and everyone was like, "Let's color grade the shit out of everything."
Green.
And there's green definitely noticed in,
Yeah, but
and
I
that's
saw
on.
that
Well,
in
that's
Order
not.
of the
That's
Phoenix.
on purpose.
This movie?
No, I think it was there.
Yeah.
This
Yes.
movie is
Yeah.
green?
Well, no. So the
It's like-
flashback
it's like-
scenes with Tom Riddle is all
right.
green. There's very heavy
Slytherin
blue
focus.
saturations. There's very heavy like dark saturate. Like I feel like this was that time in movies where they're like, all right, if we're going to Brazil, it's orange, and if we're going to Switzerland, it's blue,
Yeah.
and if we're like. I don't know. Maybe this was the genesis of that time, but even I'll skip ahead a little bit to that
No, I think-
fun fact. But they had David Yates brought on this French cinematographer Bruno Del Bonel, who was known for his use of stylized color palettes.
Yeah, I
But-
liked. I
BDB?
really,
no,
I
it was
really
good, but
liked
apparently
it.
WB came in and was like, "This is too much." So this was them
Really?
actually
Oh,
reining it in.
WB making sense? What a
Yeah.
concept.
But so apparently, yeah,
So it was
it
over
was
the
almost
top.
too much.
Okay.
And what we see now is when they were like, and even they apparently admitted it by then. They're like, all right, we added in too much, so we need to kind of rein it back in here a bit. But yeah, I don't know. That was just something.
total bitch about it. Like,
Oh, he was. He was
me in to be.
what are you doing?
My colors.
My colors, what are you doing? But yeah, I thought that was really weird.
The boys. That
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, there was something that just felt so specific where I was like, is this in the book? When they're all sitting at Ron's house at the beginning and they're like burning a piece of paper or like they're burning the news thing and they're just kind of sitting there.
It's a fire.
No, I know, but like
Like to warm themselves. Like that.
I don't think
I
it is.
don't
I think that was literally them just kind of being like.
I thought it was like
just having
friends sitting
fun.
around a fire.
entertaining
Kinda.
themselves.
I think you're just
I don't
fooling
know.
around, messing with the.
Also, I don't know if I
Oh,
mentioned
okay.
this in the last movie, but Sirius, the way he's in the fire is apparently book accurate from how you guys described it the episode before. His face was in the flames
Yeah.
rather than in the coals.
Yes.
I don't know why I just thought of that, but
We've
like
brought
they-
it up, I think, like
they
2 or 3
took-
times.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Wait,
like,
sorry. I was
and-
confusing 4 and 5. I was like, He wasn't like romping around the coals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I guess
It was
in
a side thought that we
I
really
jumped
don't
2
need right
movies
now,
back.
but
No,
yeah. No,
they fixed it though, or corrected
Exactly.
it, I guess. Yeah.
What about the liquid luck? How does that work? I know, again, not that you can explain these things to me, but these are just things where I'm like, can I like endeavor to
Sorta.
solve cancer and get it done?
Sort of the show and not tell thing.
Yeah, and-
but that's
No.
the idea, I guess. Like that,
For sure.
you'll
You'll-
just have a higher chance. I guess it's a higher chance. I don't know if it's guaranteed.
Well, no, it's just funny because I will say, I was like, how does that work? But then when Harry actually takes it and goes to that whole sequence, I was like, this works, actually. I do like it because
I
he's like,
always-
I got to go see Hagrid. Why?
It's
I don't
sorta-
know.
It
I
seems
just
like
got
it's
to.
the opposite
Yeah.
of the monkey's paw, where like the monkey's paw is like your wish is fulfilled in a terrible way. That I wish I had $200, and it's like, okay, here your wife died at work. Here's your $200 payout.
Sure.
Like that crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I think it's kind of the opposite of that, where it's like you don't know how it's gonna happen, but like happenstance.
No, it's true.
Hooks you
I
up.
remembered
Luck
like not
hooks
being
you
like
up.
when I first saw that, I'm like liquid luck. What? But even like I will say, watching it back this time, I was like, no, they actually do a
Right.
very good job of kind of putting out there how this is working. I liked even how he was acting during
Right.
that whole scene. He was very confident.
Great segue because I was just
Like
about
almost
to talk
drunk,
about that.
but
Yeah.
Because like, okay, so my question is, in the book, does he act like that? And in the movie, I think it makes sense that he acts like that because they need to show the viewers that
confidence.
he
Yeah,
is
it's a
on
good
liquid
job.
luck.
Yeah.
Like he can't just act normal. And yeah, he acts like almost like like he's like a different personality, and he's kind of like drunk. Yeah, drunk
Very
in a
out of
way.
his shell.
Yeah.
Even in front of Hagrid, who he's known since he was 11.
Right.
Like he's like
Right.
the pincers.
That
Yeah.
Like that part.
he's
always
acting
makes me
more
laugh. But
charismatic.
Hagrid kind of
No,
looks
he
at
is.
him like.
What? You all right, man? Yeah.
Yeah. I
Does
suppose so,
does
yeah.
that happen in the book?
I
Or
think
is
they
it-
allude to him being.
Like
like-
more spry.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
Because
kind
Ron
of
obviously
more like
does
he-
it, but
like-
he knows he drinks it. you
No,
know?
Ron doesn't.
Ron didn't take it.
Ron thinks he does.
Right, he
He-
thinks he did.
he got the placebo.
But like him overcompensating, given his personality, makes sense.
No,
But
sure.
Harry, he takes it. Obviously, he knows it, but it doesn't really make sense. Would be acting like that.
But
unless
I feel like
they
he's
just did
acting
that for the film purpose.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's just acting confident. Like it's just that I assume the liquid luck gives you this insane amount of confidence to be like. He's like, why are you going to Hagrid's?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it feels right. Like I'm fucking doing
Feels
it.
like the place to be.
Feigns- yeah, exactly.
It's,
It's-
yeah.
really,
very
really great
odd
stuff.
Do you know what I
line.
mean? And they're like,
No,
Why?
yeah. What the?
Yeah,
I thought we
why?
had a
Who
plan.
does he say that to?
Ron and Hermione.
Ron and
Yeah,
Hermione once
yeah.
they're walking out. Yeah.
I love that part. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they don't.
No, they have
just
no
like
idea. It's like
turns around. Hi.
Hi.
Going through the portrait holder.
that was
whatever it is.
again
Yeah, I can't remember.
the
who it
little
was.
stuff. But while we're on the topic of the liquid luck, what about Slughorn? What do we think about that kind of addition in this movie?
You know who I kept getting Slughorn mixed up with? Fudge. They look very similar.
I would give you that.
Now that I'm like Slughorn, I'm like, oh yeah, this guy. He looks like Fudge.
I think he does somewhat. He looks like Fudge went
He
crazy. a
looks
little
like
bit.
what's the name from Ohio? I forget his name.
Mr. Smith.
Was it
Mr. Like the chemistry teacher. That's who I always
Was it-
think of when I think of him. Maybe it's just potions.
There
but,
was one oh my god, Nick B would always say it. And Mike Hess looked exactly like him. I forget his name. I'm gonna think of it. But like
Came like later, like you were probably a sophomore or something, right?
maybe I don't know.
Maybe it's. Well, maybe it was when you were a freshman he came.
It could have
Because if
been.
you take chemistry sophomore year.
Yeah, but it was a missing
Point being, if you
two.
went to Ohio, there was a teacher.
Yeah,
that looked
there's
like,
two
yeah, I was
exactly
like,
like that.
yeah.
So is he as like kind of loopy maybe to say? Like I don't even.
Yeah,
know
this
how
guy
to
was
more,
pretty
like,
crazy. We were
Eccentric
sophomores
within
and-
the in the yeah.
Is he
About
crazy?
right,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would say he's like just.
I wouldn't
kinda-
say. I'd say eccentric. Maybe crazy isn't the
he's
right
like-
word to say.
I
He's
wouldn't say
clearly
crazy, but
scared.
yeah.
He's scared of Voldemort.
Oh
Like,
no, absolutely.
Clearly scared, and it's because of the
He is,
mistake he made.
He's
But, like,
an out for number one kind of guy. He's out for him, his connections, who he can brag
right.
about.
He's very like, my
Yeah.
parties.
Yeah.
You know.
I guess I am kind of surprised
Yeah.
Voldemort wouldn't have killed him by now, because he's the
Because he
only one
knows
that
that
he
guy.
would know that. And I also had another question about the flashback scenes. Was Voldemort like influencing him at all? Is he supposed to be implied to be influencing Slughorn in those like kind of old those flashbacks where he's asking about the Horcrux?
That's just
when,
where
when
things-
it's Tom Riddle.
That's
Yeah,
just
'cause
where
it's-
his natural charisma. They always
that
talk about
really
him
it?
being
Okay.
charismatic, charming, flattering, all that. Like
I
that's
have a
where that
question.
comes into play. He
Interesting.
just weaseled his way in.
yeah,
Just
and
that
like and he
brown nosing.
That makes sense.
So
Okay.
in the timeline, Obviously,
As I
we
understood it.
get
Yeah.
Tom. We have two different actors as Tom Riddle in Chamber of Secrets and this.
I believe, fun fact, I believe one of them was actually his.
Are you gonna
what's
take away my fun facts here,
Oh,
Penza?
sorry.
You piece of shit. No, say it. It's all right.
was
say it.
I'm blanking on the actor who plays
I can
Voldemort's.
Ralph Fiennes.
It was
Ralph
Ralph
Fiennes.
Fiennes'
I don't even know how to say his
nephew.
name.
Ray-
Ray Fiennes.
Ray
Ray
Fiennes.
Fiennes.
Ray Fiennes' his nephew.
And
Okay.
it said underneath that fun fact, he didn't get hired because he was his nephew. He got hired because he was the best fit for the. Okay,
Right.
but also he did feel fucking
Right,
a lot
right,
like Voldemort.
right.
I think
Oh,
he
yeah.
was great, actually. Not knowing that,
Very chilling.
very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What,
But back to Slughorn.
these scenes is the Chamber of Secrets one first, and then the Slughorn interaction happens after. When
It seems like to me
they're the only two flashbacks we get, at least for now.
It seems to me
are
he's
you
older in Chamber of Secrets
You're,
than in
you're
the
referring
flashbacks
to
of
the
this.
flashback from Chamber of Secrets?
Right? Is he? Which one is he older in?
I
think
don't-
To me, it looks like at least they were.
Like,
it
it's not
looked
really
clearly
clear.
like he was older in the Chamber of
I
Secrets ones to me.
Just got like I don't know.
I
If I
don't
did
know.
take an educated guess, he's older in Half-Blood Prince,
Okay,
but he certainly looks older in Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
But I think
he's
because when
technically
you flash
supposed
back,
to
like
be.
Hagrid gets, I don't know the age gap, but Hagrid gets kicked out like pretty young from Hogwarts, and I don't think like, I don't know if they're the same age, Voldemort and Hagrid or not. But I think he like catches them. I don't know. They were in school at the same time.
Wait,
God, I don't
really?
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chamber of Secrets.
He's
bro.
why what's his name gets why Hagrid gets kicked out.
He's
Yeah,
like-
but I thought he was like a teacher.
No, he never taught it. He tried to teach at Hogwarts, but
So he was a
Dumbledore didn't.
student then?
Yeah.
No,
Holy
oh, he
shit.
was when he got
I
kicked
totally
out.
missed that
Oh, he
detail.
was a student.
Wait.
I didn't-
In Chamber of Secrets, in the scene where he gets kicked out,
He's a student.
Hagrid, yes.
Hagrid's a student.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
assumed
yeah.
he like
I
worked
didn't-
as like a janitor still
No,
at that
he was
time.
a student at Hogwarts.
Janitor,
yeah.
what is
That's
No,
why
I didn't know.
He's
I
got
thought, like-
his broken wand in the
Oh,
umbrella,
I didn't realize
which he
that.
shouldn't have.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
didn't.
yeah,
I didn't
Hagrid-
realize that at all.
Yeah.
I thought he was like like
He-
a younger
Dumbledore let
teacher.
him stay on.
It was Dumbledore
as,
like feeling
yeah,
pretty
keeper
much
of
I didn't
the
realize.
ground.
I didn't know that either.
bad
Gooch.
for him, like let
Yeah.
him stay and
Be the groundskeeper.
I had just assumed.
Speaking of Chamber of Secrets, Aragog, how's he so small all of a sudden?
nah, he wasn't.
And
He's died and like he's just like
shriveled up.
you know like when a spider dies and all their hands go into each other.
I
Yeah.
think
They
he
get
did.
way smaller. Like that's what happened.
Yeah, I
He's
think he
pretty
is.
large
I think he was
still,
always that
yeah.
size. But I.
He seemed bigger in. It's in Chamber of Secrets he's in, right?
They were also tiny as shit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, they're also like
12,
yeah, like 2/3 the size of
True.
what
yeah,
they are now.
12 years old or something like that.
Like the
Yeah,
actor Daniel
okay.
Radcliffe and Harry like grew some inches. You
Okay,
know?
okay. Because I was like, I thought that was really odd to bring back up all of a sudden. Like, oh yeah, Aragog's dead and
that's-
Slughorn.
That's why.
Yeah. Oh
that's
yeah.
why
How did
Slughorn-
he die? By the way, Aragog. Did
Old
they
age.
say
I
it?
think he was just like old.
Yeah,
Did they
it's
say-
just died
oh, he
of
did
old
just
age.
die
seemed
of
like
old
old
age.
age.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know if there was like a
Yeah,
specific reasoning that
Yeah,
they were
so
giving.
when they obviously in the movie, Harry's is on a liquid lung. He's like, I think I'm just gonna go down just to whatever. In the book, Hagrid's having his funeral for Aragon,
Mm-hmm.
and it's at night, and Harry sneaks out in the invisibility cloak,
Sure.
and Slughorn only goes because he wants
The
to
venom.
steal some of the venom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he does with Professor Sprout's herb. He's stealing that as
Because
well.
he's selling that shit.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
for him. I know. I'm just.
Tentacular or something, whatever they call it.
yeah, Harry like comes up and does he like touch his shoulders
Yeah.
or something like
He
that?
just
Oh,
puts his
yeah.
head in the window.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
What are we
Professor?
looking at? Yeah.
What you doing?
Merlin's big.
How do we feel about Ron finally getting some? It was nice to have him have his moment in these movies. I feel like for once, like he kind of won. That,
Yeah,
he got a little celebration.
We get
he won
the Quidditch storyline like
Yeah.
we were talking about last time with this, which seemed a little odd all of a sudden that he just decided to do Quidditch, but it's okay.
Why are you wearing your helmet at lunch? Do you want to get made fun of? Like, what are you doing?
He's nervous, man.
I know, but
So
don't do
what's
that.
what's his love interest's name in this?
Lavender brown.
Lavender Brown.
Was that? That's her name is Lavender Brown. I totally missed that.
Yeah.
That's
Any book?
She's like a
any
recurring-
book
recurring
differences
main
with
character.
her.
So does she come in earlier in the books at all?
Like
Okay.
by
but
name.
but
Sure.
not in the movies. This is the
Almost-
first time we're definitely
almost
seeing
certain. I
it.
could be wrong
Yeah,
about
again,
that, but
the horniest person on screen for sure. I would agree. with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
she wants that.
I can't remember
Yeah.
if she has a little rivalry before that with
Hermione.
With
Like
Hermione.
in passing mention. Just like
I
in
can't
studies and
remember.
stuff, but I
Yeah.
forget.
yeah, I did like
I
that
think
moment of
Hermione
her
thinks
getting.
she's like a bimbo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if it's like an intellectual, like the.
But she also
And,
got an O on her.
what's the other one
If
who
she's in the
gets?
class? If she's in Slughorn's class with them.
Broomhilda Vane.
Good point.
What's her name?
Broomhilda Vane.
Slughorn was taking
Broomhilda Vane.
Whatever, the lower grade to let Harry.
She was a
into, so I
Slytherin,
don't
too,
know.
right?
Yeah,
We're having
that's
cross
true.
conversations.
That's
We
true.
Yeah, sorry.
yeah,
We
It's
were
all right.
right.
We can't do it's
You
all
guys,
right.
you
Me-
guys get quiet when you
I
talk
just
to each
assumed
other.
that she got an O on her owls, but yeah, that's true.
We're trying to be like subject matter experts, but don't want to be called.
No, that's true. You got
like nonsense. Man.
Time to confer. Time to confer.
Milivane, Slytherin, yes.
Yeah.
Or no,
Yeah,
wait.
And then so that was so.
I actually don't even remember.
That was
She's
another-
gone for Harry.
She
I could be
seems
wrong.
like a Slytherin.
I could be
Love
wrong. I
potion.
don't know why I just said that. I'm thinking
Broomhilda
of-
Vane.
I don't think she was, but I don't know.
I can't
was
remember what
totally
her
just
role was.
picturing.
I think I googled
I was
it.
picturing Pansy Parkinson, which is like the girl who's on the train with Draco. I don't
Right.
know why.
She's, yeah.
I said
This is
that.
the second or third time we've seen her with the group.
Can I say also,
think.
it's very irresponsible for a potions master to be teaching a bunch of horny preteens or post-teens
Love
how to
potion.
make a love potion.
Yeah.
Can we not do that, guys? I don't know. Either way, was the potion that Broomhilda was giving Harry just about her? That had nothing to do with like him trying to get like something to, like in the greater
That was
plot.
just her
That was just her
liking
wanting
it.
to,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get
yeah.
some. Got it,
And
because he's the
another-
chosen one.
And dude, it all matters. You know,
does.
that's,
She's
that's
a Gryffindor.
Harry's.
She's a
foot-
Gryffindor.
That's it. Yeah, okay. That's Harry's foot back in the door. Slughorn. He goes down
Yeah.
there, and then like uncovering that there's poison.
Great
plots
stuff.
and
No,
stuff like
it-
that.
it
It's, like,
works.
all-
Yeah.
ultimately, everything always matters. There's, like,
and-
not
no,
a
it
lot of
does,
fat.
yeah.
There's
And
not
I-
a lot of fat.
I didn't realize, like, again, totally forgot. Draco is the one behind all those incidents. Yeah.
Really? That's one thing I feel like I really kind of was like, oh, well, obviously it's him.
The poison,
It's
in the
the
wine.
and the cursed
mead,
necklace
yeah, the cursed necklace. What's her name? Katie.
something.
Bell, Kitty Bell,
Yeah,
Quidditch team.
yeah, and then she's in the potions class as well.
Is she?
Yes,
I think those are the only two that he does.
because I
those are
sent
the
you a
only two.
snap of her.
she's
I'm like,
older.
why does this girl familiar? And then he talks
She's
to her
like
later.
older, I thought.
Can I just say I really love the line when he was talking to Hermione and she was like, she's like, she wants to be with you because you're the chosen one. He's like, but I am the chosen one. And she-
Bonks him,
but
yeah.
also, I love that Harry's like, no, fuck it, I am the chosen one. I hate it when movies are like just Hunger Games, for example.
Well, like
I
they're
like
really
Katniss-
humble all the time.
Not even humble. There's, I don't want this. I've never asked for this. Well, guess what? You have it. You got to get over it at this. And I think that there's a certain level
Hey, man.
of going through that kind
Adam
of.
Jensen never asked for what happened.
No,
to
it's
him.
true, but like I think there's a certain
asked
level
for
of
this.
like kind of being like dealing with it and kind of getting past that. But certain movies I think overstay that welcome, and I appreciate that he's like, no,
Sure,
fuck it, I'm here to do this.
I think that's a good critique.
yeah, I really like
Because
that.
that is his overarching feeling, but that's like where you're like, okay, he's a teenage boy. Of
Yeah,
course He's
exactly.
gonna like try to capitalize on he's clout chasing.
for sure.
You know,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
And again, it felt set in his
They're
character. It
16
didn't
years
feel.
old.
I
Yeah,
like
it's crazy.
the after Friday night football game party that they have for like the Quidditch.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
They're throwing
That-
down.
Yeah, they're going pretty hard.
Butter
It's-
beers out the wild.
I was gonna say, so they can drink. Can they get
Butterbeer
drunk?
is non-alcoholic, right?
But is Hermione walking
I don't
home?
know.
They don't
but
ever like.
They never-
specify.
they never-
Hermione
I was-
looks pretty wasted when they're walking home from the
She
the
does,
thing because they're
the
carrying
arms
her.
over the thing,
I thought that's
yeah.
what they were implying, anyways, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe in the
I think it was
Wizarding
just, like,
world
a
you can
good
drink
mood
at
kind of
16.
thing. I don't.
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
I really don't know. They don't.
It just looked like she was kind of like,
Yeah, no, I would
woo,
agree.
Like
I
I
would
don't
agree.
know, but
I
either
don't
way,
ever remember them talking about them getting drunk. Like they talk about drunk people at
Sure.
random points at relevance. Like
there's no
relevant times.
drinking age of
And-
16 anywhere, is there? In like
Well, they
European
talk in the
countries?
movie. They talk about like a couple
18
times.
over
They'll say
That's what I
tonic, some tonic to
Yeah,
numb
calm
the
the
nerve.
nerves.
Calm the
calm
nerves.
the nerve.
I mean, yeah.
Milk
What's his
the
name's giving
puppy.
him mead. So like,
Yeah, yeah.
and he's like about to give him. He's
That-
talking about wine
that
too and
inn,
stuff.
is that in Hogsmeade or is that like on the outskirts somewhere? Because they like walk to it.
Hogsmeade.
It's in Hogsmeade.
Okay, yeah, because it's like
That's the only place
it doesn't
they
seem
can
like
go.
it's in Hogsmeade. It just seems like it's like on the outskirts of Hogsmeade.
There was one other thing. I
And
just
Dean
had-
Thomas, I don't remember her macking on Ginny. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
forget
yeah.
about
I
that
was
whole
like,
thing.
yeah, I was like,
And it was interesting, like that moment with Harry and Hermione. He was like she was like, "How do you feel when they're doing that?" And honestly, he doesn't seem to really care the whole movie. At least he doesn't. Obviously, he likes her, but like, even when they're in that one bar together, he's obviously more. He's focused on the mission, which I'll
Right.
commend him
and
for.
Ron, if anything, is having the brotherly reaction
Yeah.
to watching his
Yeah.
sister, like, you know,
Snogging.
I forgot
Yeah, the
to-
slugging.
Snogging.
When you
Snogging.
mentioned
Yeah,
Snogging.
snogging.
Yeah, doesn't
Yeah.
they say that, right?
When you
Yeah,
mentioned
they-
like Ginny earlier, I forgot to comment. Like that's one of the things like through the whole series. People are like, Ginny was the most egregiously
Underused.
changed,
Oh.
underused, Like they did her so dirty. Like she's very important throughout, and like
that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
Point.
she's
it
why
felt
they
rushed like in this one.
She's
like,
why
you don't
they
really
win
get much, yeah.
the big Quidditch match against Ravenclaw.
yeah, she's like even Quidditch. Like obviously they did her. A
She's
little
like the
justice.
backup
Yeah.
seeker.
Yeah.
So like in the book, you know, like when Harry fucks up Malfoy in the bathroom,
Yes.
Yeah.
he gives him like the deadly
Sanctum
curse.
Sanctorum, or no, what is
He gives him like the deadly curse,
Yeah.
which is like one of Snape's curses, and that's like the whole thing where he's like how
I
the
got a question about that. by the way.
so he gets detention for a month, and because of that, he can't participate in like the big
Quidditch?
Quidditch match. Yeah, so like
He
Ginny
almost
comes
killed
in
him.
as the backup.
suspension 1 month.
Yeah.
Ginny comes in-
Like, he had no idea what.
See a Potter.
No, like he was losing. Like I think the book they told me like he was losing like blood crazy
Rapidly,
fast.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think they expressed pretty well that he fucked him up.
So
Yeah,
you
Harry's, like,
can. I feel like
freaked
I
out
asked you
like
this
he is in the
before,
movie.
but guys can just make spells.
That
Like,
was
you
my
can just
question.
make.
Apparently. Like,
So
apparently
interesting.
Severus has his own playbook, apparently, like of spells that nobody else knows.
And again, that makes
I-
total sense with the. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Answer.
No, it's kind of just like I guess like
Yeah.
it's kind of like introduced here. Yeah.
or,
Interesting.
Maybe
Yeah, interesting.
Because there's also with like incantations, there's supposed to be wand movement.
Yeah.
So it could be like altering other spells. Like I think they talk about like creation of magic and like they hint at it in weird ways, like whether it's like wand stuff, obviously potions, like stuff like that. But you have to be very talented or accidentally do it. Pretty much is like how
Interest or like,
I'm under-
and is
I'm
that
understanding.
technically discovering the spell?
Yeah,
like, it is
that,
like
I don't,
that,
I
yeah,
don't know
interesting,
how
yeah.
to define it. I guess.
Yeah, no, that's interesting.
And there's other spells, like there's one with the where you like it's like Levis something or whatever. Remember Harry like does it and it picks Ron up by his
Yeah.
foot or something in like the dorm room in the book. Like so there's more spells that
Yeah, and
he
So
learns
they're like
from this.
They're like this. Okay,
The
so
book from the
let's
Half-Blood Prince's book.
bring it into like a different version. We have Fireball, right? A Fireball spell, and from that there can be different variations and versions of the Fireball spell. Like that's what Snape's doing. He's kind of like taking a spell, maybe like doing a little twist on it based on like different motions and making it maybe do something a little different. Like it's not like he's like totally like creating a spell from nothing. Like he's basing it off of other existing spells.
personally, it's like all speculation. What we're talking about right
Yeah,
now for
I
me
guess.
is all
Okay.
speculation.
Like, that's
That's
what I would
that's
base
what
it
I'm
on.
seeing
It
right
doesn't
now.
make any
So
sense
basically-
that he would know that spell and nobody else would know it, right?
It
Would-
seems to me that my own interpretation after the great amount of research that I just did in that 1 minute.
Sick, man.
You're almost
Pull it up,
discovering
Jamie.
these spells, like in a way. But again, there's nothing in the books that ever tells you apparently.
I-
Like,
that's
what-
that's kind of cool.
no,
I
like
guess.
that. We don't need everything spelled out in every
Right,
which
like
way.
we don't
for
need
sure.
a student being like, "Yeah, I'm just making my own shit up."
How do you make
And,
the
like,
spell?
So
It's
like
like, well,
all
I'll put it
students
in.
just have their own variation of spells. It sounds like it could get messy, but with a teacher who's tenured and went to Hogwarts, and it kind of makes sense that maybe they have their own.
It would make
playbook,
sense if
like I said.
PhD professors
that-
were
but
discovering
that-
spells. Like, what if they were writing thesis on
you have to
spells?
understand, like, that-
Which is kind of what Snape is.
Dude,
he's a professor.
That playbook was written when he was at
student,
Hogwarts,
yeah.
a student.
True.
It wasn't afterwards.
Yeah.
That
Snape-
defunks what I just
Dude,
said.
Snape's
Yeah.
one of the best, most powerful wizards that like you ever come across in the whole series.
That's not apparent to me at all.
Which
And
is
I'm not
funny,
saying you're
like-
not
One
true,
thing
but
about
I
these
don't think
movies,
it's
I will
apparent.
say that I've
Believe me,
realized.
I don't need you to tell me. No, it's fine.
Oh, you said I was going to come around on Snape. I will give it to you in the fact of he's not nearly in as much of this as I realized.
No, he's not.
Like he kind of fucks with Harry in the first one, then he's in them a little bit, and he actually is helping him in that
You
next
mean
one.
in the films.
In the
general?
films, I should say. Yeah,
present,
yeah. I definitely.
he shows up.
He shows up
yeah.
when he needs to, and I do think they set everything up in a very cohesive and well done
They don't
way
keep
by the
giving you
end.
ammo.
Even that moment of
save.
him, like being just like you do feel it. You feel that he's trying to protect him to a degree,
So
but
let's
you
go
don't know.
back to the beginning real quick.
Yeah.
You feel betrayed.
Narcissa,
like,
the the interaction between Narcissa, who we talked about in the last episode, first time seeing Mrs. Malfoy, Bellatrix, and the
She might be in the last one
and
too.
Snape.
but
What
continue.
was it called? The
What?
Unbreakable vow.
Unbreakable Vow.
Oh, what they did.
Right, so obviously Snape has to protect Draco, and he does that through the film. But like it was interesting to see like Narcissa, like I'm like, oh, like I don't think I remember this at all. Like for some reason, like again, this whole movie is like a fucking like watching it for the first time. I don't really know where I'm going with bringing her up per se, but I like the fact that she's like included because like she is kind of like wishy-washy. She doesn't really know what to do.
Well, she wants to protect her son. That's all she cares about.
Right, but like she like it's clearly her loyalties lie in Voldemort, but like not really.
No, I would say they lie in her son. They want to keep her son alive.
It's kind of how the Malfoy...
But she's going to the Death Eaters to do that.
Yeah, but the way the Malfoys operates, like, yes, they are in line or loyal with Voldemort, but it's also like...
Did Casey say loyalty to themselves?
Yeah.
Last episode?
I was
over
trying to
anything
remember.
else.
I thought
yeah.
I was like making that point before. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it holds true. So, like, if they think, like... Obviously, they're kind of in knee-deep water here with their situation. So it's like...
It's true. It's like, what else do you do? Like, I'm
Yeah.
stuck in here right now.
I think the point that I was making about her was like, you'll see where her loyalties lie. Like, when like she's at such a crossroads with like, this is what we have always done. Like her and Lucius being supporters and all that. But then like it's like, oh, I have a son in the mix now. Like, it's like a mother.
And they're trying to pull him
like
in.
Like she's like trying to figure out how to keep him safe.
Right.
Without
She's concerned about her son more than
but needing him to be.
Yeah,
alive.
that's what
true,
for sure.
I didn't
Like
for
total,
some reason I didn't
total
think of
shift
it
in her
like that.
priorities. Like,
Also, one thing I just realized, it's so obvious now that I'm thinking about it. When Malfoy gets caught at that party, that's when he was swapping out the meat, right? Like when he gets caught for gate crash, he's like, no, I was great gate crashing.
I actually can't remember. I know what you're talking about. Like,
Yeah.
that could have been the opportunity.
When he swaps it out. Yeah,
I don't.
Maybe that's not even
I forget,
important,
I feel like it was given to
because I thought he said he
gift, and
had it for a
was
long time when he was like,
Yeah.
he's like, I've
Yeah,
had this for a long time. I was saving it for someone special.
Wasn't he just experimenting with the what's it called? Vanishing
the vanishing cabinet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the vanishing cabinet, like with the bird, seeing.
Yeah,
if it
but
would
you
live.
only go into the other vanishing cabinet. Like you don't. I guess was he near?
It's like a portal between the two.
It's
Well,
like a
you-
brother
well,
and a sister
well,
cabinet.
Right, but it looks
Also,
like
where was all that stuff in the room requirement when they were in there for Order of the Phoenix? Does it just hide that all?
turns into
It's
a-
like it is.
turns into what you need, but that's like I need to store something. So it's
Sure.
like over years.
That makes
it's
sense.
that,
So
Okay, now
what
that
I was
makes
trying
total
to
sense.
like because
That's
it
the
looks,
general purpose of it.
It looks like he was
it's the room
going
of
up
what you
there to
require.
try
Yeah.
to figure out how it works and if he could bring living things through.
Well,
it
he said
with the
he said
bird.
he was. He says he's mending it the whole time. That's what he said he was doing throughout the whole year, right? Doesn't he literally
he's-
say that at one
yeah.
point?
He's fixing it?
He's like, I've been
Yeah.
mending it throughout the whole year to get it to this point where I could
thought
bring
he
a
was
bunch
like
of.
trying to figure
Right.
out if they could do this.
It seemed like it was. That's how I
It
gathered
didn't
from it.
work.
Yeah,
It wasn't
damaged
working. Yeah, it was
and
damaged or
somehow he was
something.
and yeah, they're in the room of requirement they're in is the same room that the Order of Phoenix trains in. So there's just like
Dumbledore's
all.
army. Yeah.
So what's all the shit in there all of a sudden?
Like Casey was just
Yeah.
saying, it's a storage room for people when you
Like-
require it. So
So
Like,
it wasn't
over,
before.
It's
no,
over,
it was in there. It all exists but doesn't exist. The
Over-
room turns into what
Oh,
you
right,
need to
right,
be.
right.
So like over a century, a student is like, I need somewhere to hide this, and like that room opens up where there's
Yeah.
somewhere to hide stuff. So that
Or I need to
you
put this somewhere.
And
I need
Ginny
to-
and Harry also go into the same version of the room.
and
That,
clap
Yeah.
out.
yes.
Yeah. So they
Yeah.
go in there because Ginny, went there with the diary at first, and then went and found it or something like that. Like Ginny had found the room.
Oh, how she found it?
Yeah,
Yeah, she
it's
found
the diary.
Yeah,
right?
that's what. Yeah.
Because she was gonna get rid of it, and then I guess didn't or whatever. But she was like trying to figure out how to get
Tom Riddle's diary.
way back. So like
Right.
in her first year, their second year, like she
Yes.
knew
Yeah.
about
Yeah. I
that.
remember.
So
Interesting.
that's just how she knew about it.
One thing I want to speak to really quick. Very unsung hero, I think, of these past 4 movies, ever since he was introduced. Dumbledore's hair and beard are really good. Like really good. Like they look
I don't
so.
know where you're
it's one of those
going.
things that
That's
you
not
don't
what I
like
thought you were gonna
notice
say.
until you do, and I'm like, God, it looks all. Well, it just looks
It's
so
natural,
real. It's
right?
very. I don't know. I don't think it
I don't
is.
know. I don't know.
I would. That's a fucking look
Yeah,
if he's
that's-
rocking
I
that
would
all
be
year.
surprised if it was natural or a wig.
It
to
could,
be
but
honest.
like
Or
if
extensions.
that's all I want to say, primo
No,
wig work. That's
it'd
all
be
I
a
want to
wig.
say there.
They would
It
not-
just looks
Yeah,
great.
got a
And
nice
beard
beard
work.
they
extension.
would,
there,
they would
dummy.
not give extensions.
What?
I don't know.
You said or extensions.
No,
I
they
said,
could-
no, it'd
they
be a
could-
wig.
Yeah, I guess you're
For
right.
his
That would probably
beard.
make more sense for sure.
I don't
No, yeah, because just to match
Put
it much more
extensions in,
easily.
That'd be fucking great.
No, well, I mean, it depends on like you. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. But when you're doing something that gigantic, you're probably not matching it. Like to match that hair perfectly, it would be easier to do a wig.
I just had a revelation.
Yeah.
Draco's in the exact same black suit Voldemort's in.
He's in
He's
that a
in-
lot
he's
of this
in
movie.
it all.
I think he's in a
Standard
black
black- I
suit.
think
Yeah,
it's
I think it's
standard
the black
black
suit.
Yeah, but I like. I was gonna comment the fact that I like the all black suit.
Anyways,
Again,
that's enough wig talk. Also,
with the
but
Slytherins, the all black suits,
Yeah.
dope look.
Swanky.
I did want to talk about the fact that is Diagon Alley like going out of business or something? Like Ollivanders is just like abandoned.
It's like hard times. I think it's supposed to mirror like
Is it
what it was like
Volde-
before. Like, you know, people were afraid to leave their homes and shit like that.
Right, and that's
So,
happening again. Voldemort's
Yeah.
influence and the fact that he is
Yeah.
back.
People
is,
going
is
missing
hindering
and
the
stuff
wizarding
like that.
world.
Like, yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's still fresh on a lot of wizards' minds. It wasn't like it was 100
Yeah.
years ago.
it was like 20 years ago,
Right.
Or,
It
15,
didn't-
or
it didn't-
13.
it didn't
basically,
seem-
yeah.
16 years
They always
ago.
say
'Cause
14
that's
years
how-
ago,
well, 15
even though
years
like
ago.
it wasn't.
It
They
doesn't
mentioned
seem like it's
14
that
years
clear
ago.
that that's what's happening to
Because
Diagon Alley.
Harry's 1 when it happened.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then he goes to school when he's 12 or 11.
11,
So
yeah.
that would have been 10 years plus.
Now we're-
Yeah. So about 15-ish,
Yeah,
16-ish,
it's
something like that.
somewhere in that realm. But
Love it.
Yeah, I just want to point that out because I was like, so like what? It's like Nocturne Alley's like still fucking trucking and Diagon
that's all the
Alley.
shady bastards.
Diagon Alley is like a shit, like like a fucking abandoned. I'm like,
Well, there was a terrorist attack took place, basically, right?
True.
At the beginning of the movie?
And,
Like
right,
that?
we do-
Oh, yeah, that's-
the
that's-
Muggle. Yeah,
Yeah, I
That's
forgot that
what
the
we
Muggles
talked
get
about
attacked
it,
as well.
We talked about it last week. That's where in the beginning of this book is where they have like the prime minister.
Yeah.
They
and-
actually are talking with the prime
yeah,
minister.
and they have like the new
explaining
Yeah.
what's going on because the bridge just got
Interesting.
fucking
and then they pretty much
blown up.
Is the Newt Pie or
Scrimger or whatever, and Fudge is with them. I think when they talk to the prime minister.
I think it's 1-on-1. Whoever it is, I
Oh,
think
is
it's
it?
just one of them comes out of the portrait. I think.
But
I just don't remember if it's Fudge or
no, it's the new.
Scrimger.
It's I think it's definitely the new one.
okay. Because he resigned. Fudge resigns after.
That
or
makes
is
sense,
out
yeah.
Yeah,
or
they
something.
they mentioned that.
I thought yeah, but I think Fudge goes because he knows the prime minister. I think that might be one of the first meetings with the new prime minister.
That could be.
I could be.
yeah,
I
okay.
could just be thinking that.
I feel like it like was. I
Like-
know that he gets out of office at some point.
Yeah,
So
there
is
is
there-
the bridge attack happens in the book.
And is also there a reason why they want to stay? Like, does Voldemort care if they say concealed from the Muggle world?
well, he wants to like subjugate.
He doesn't want to kill them all. He wants to subjugate it. Like, he just wants to kind of take them as like he just thinks they're lesser beings.
I
Basically,
guess
is
it's
the
like
idea.
get out of my way.
Yeah. Because I
out
was
of my way,
surprised,
I'll
I was
go over
curious
you
as to
kinda
why they
thing.
like turned invisible to do the thing. They're just like, nah, fuck it, I don't care. I'm just gonna we don't even.
I think there's a lot of cover up as well by like the ministry. Like
Sure.
they'll do terroristic acts and then it's like
'Cause they
change
can wipe
memories
muzzle-
of everybody
muggles.
in the area
Yeah.
and then cover
Minds
it
and
up
stuff like
pretty
that.
much.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
So it's
Sidebar: Harry doesn't need to shave. Dumbledore, when he goes,
He's also
Harry,
horny
you
in
need
the,
to-
in the fucking cafe with the girl.
No,
Like,
I know.
Jesus, Harry.
but
What the
Dumbledore's like,
fuck?
Harry, you need to shave, and he is clean shaven as a baby.
it's so horny. Come on.
What are you talking about?
I think
Yeah, I don't know. What are you talking about?
With
Yeah,
the
where did that
girl
go
who's
to-
serving
you're,
him.
you're assuming that Dumbledore was talking about his face.
Oh, got it.
That's when he tells him to shave after that scene when he's standing on the platform.
No,
It's
No,
not?
no, it's when it's at the end when they're about to go for the
going-
Horcrux.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
God,
Sorry.
Gooch is horny.
But yeah, Harry, there's some horniness in that scene too.
Yeah, absolutely. There
And
is.
Dumbledore's like, she's fine, man.
That's like
you
Dumbledore.
could get that.
That's just kind of a view into like how Dumbledore views Harry. Like, and then he follows it right up with, "Sometimes I forget how much you've grown," or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, he's just looking at him in a different light.
Yeah, no, that
It's
makes
kinda-
sense.
But I always.
No, I just thought
I'm
it was a
always
funny
like,
thing. It just didn't. Yeah, I'm like, guys, maybe I didn't know if that was maybe a book line or something. I'm like, maybe just swap that for
What if
something.
the camera
like,
turned to Harry and they put like shoe polish on his face, like something like
It's
that,
just
like
blacked out,
egregious.
yeah.
They were just like not like
Oh my
blackface,
gosh.
no, just like
He
shoe
can
polish.
grow a good beard
like
now,
this
yeah.
fucking like 5 o'clock.
Yeah, shadow.
shit.
Yeah, it's a full on like Die Hard.
Popped his Adam's apple. out or
Amazing,
something,
yeah.
like, just
What's going on?
There's a sketch somewhere in that you can come up with. Yeah, no, I thought that was hilarious. But let's talk about the revelation scene of the Horcrux, because I actually really like that scene. And I had
Yeah.
a question about Dumbledore when he's talking about like after that's is that when he's realizing that he's a Horcrux? Harry is a Horcrux. He's like, I just found another one, or is he talking about the one that they are finding at the end at the cliff place?
He's alluding to the locket.
Okay, he is. Because in that, it almost like you could. It felt like to me. I could almost read that as him being like almost coming to this realization, like I just found another one. Like it's an object
It's
marked
you!
with.
So
Like when does he figure that out?
he knew, or he had suspicions before, because like they reveal more about it in like the next entry.
Sure, okay.
but,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, we can talk-
There's planning in the background that like he starts to realize.
Like these, the
I think
the
we
gears
talked
are
about it.
ticking.
I think we talked about it before with like the blood in the graveyard and like it kind of like sealed the fate of like either they're combined apart from just like
Sure.
the scar. Like
I have the one thing I don't like about this movie, the end. I think once
like it
we
kinda
hit
just
the
you're gonna
ends.
jump all the way from Curious Horcrux.
well, we're getting in the horror.
No, that's yeah. We're
talking
about
about
that.
the
Yeah, yeah.
like I wasn't gonna go.
What about the end?
Is it the wait? He discovers a Horcrux thing at like towards the end, right?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
Well,
not
so-
jumping. You're jumping down my throat.
Okay.
Anyway,
The horniest podcast.
Yeah.
once we hit that point where they discover the Horcrux, and until the end, I think the movie, like, I don't like the
I
A
love
to B.
the Horcrux scene a lot. It's meme to hell, but I love that scene a lot.
Like-
where he's like feeding him the water. And he's-
Yeah, I don't like any of that.
Really? I really like that
I
scene.
don't know
What do you
why.
What do you mean you don't like? Like,
Do you
didn't
feel like
think
it's
it was
very
done well,
rushed?
or you
Do you
No,
like,
I
what
feel
do you
like the movie is a great pace, and then we hit that scene, and the whole movie just kind of like. I don't.
It was funny watching
There's
it.
something
I was
about
like,
it. It's not what it's happening or what the grand, like the importance of it. It's the way they did it.
like the pacing or something, or
It like they're in this island in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like I don't really know what's going
Cliffs of
on,
Moher.
where they are. He's just feeding them this water, and it's almost like you really have to like imagine what's
yeah.
what do you mean?
happening.
I'm confused. Like,
in the
what do you mean?
movie, if you didn't catch the
So then
picture,
I have
the
another fun- yeah,
postcard
we can use
on
this fun fact,
when
yeah.
when Dumbledore shows Harry how he met Voldemort at the orphanage.
Yeah.
There's a postcard on like
From the Cliffs
on
of
the-
Moher, which is,
Is
where
that where it
Moher.
is?
I think that's what it said.
In
on-
Ireland?
that's- Yeah.
I didn't think they
I
ever
don't know.
existed.
That's
I-
what it
I'm not
says
s-
online.
yeah,
That's
okay.
what it says it's supposed to be. But it
I
could
just
not
don't know if
be
somebody
in-
recognized the picture.
I've been to the Cliffs of Moher.
So like we
So
we
you
went to
fucking
another
been
one.
there,
No,
dude.
you probably have you been there?
You
We
didn't
didn't
go get the
We
Horcrux?
just like we went elsewhere. I forget what the Sleeve League or something like that. I think it was called, but it was was similar concept.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
coastal
You didn't
stuff.
think
There's
to
a
go
picture of
looking
the
for
Cliffs of Moher in young Tom Riddle's room where he and Dumbledore first meet.
So
So-
yeah, and like
Yeah, like if you missed that, you're like, where
That's
are
definitely
we?
so. That
Right,
was going to be
like,
a
we were
question
just like-
I had of like, how did he
right,
know
we're
this?
in Dumbledore's
Yeah.
office,
Yeah,
and
they
we're like,
they like if you miss it, you're an idiot.
Missed
Look at
that.
the
And
flashes
they,
to it, but you
They-
what? Yeah, yeah.
he's kidding.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
they
yeah.
have a-
No, they
have-
do. They give you
They
like
give
a
flash
good
to it.
few
They have a
beats
big
of it,
revelation
like-
about
for
the
sure, but
Horcruxes.
I think they hide it in a good way that no normal like
Right.
I don't know. I don't think like a
I
normal viewer is
think the
catching that.
I think it's just the movie like changes gears so fast,
Did you
and
catch
then
it or no?
and
Not
then
at all.
that scene, that whole
No.
scene is
I
like
guess I
pretty.
knew it was coming.
The whole scene is like pretty long.
That's
I don't
kinda-
know. It's just
I really like that whole scene of
I
him
don't.
forcing him the water and like
yeah. For some
he's
reason,
getting
it just didn't work for me. I don't
Yeah,
know why.
Yeah, fair. I
The,
really like that scene a lot. I will say.
That's another thing where like throughout the book, there's so much.
Building up to that,
Harry and Dumbledore work together
Yeah.
throughout the whole school year. It's not like in the movie where it's
It
like
does
here
feel
he
like it's
sees him
very
when he has
end-based.
to,
Dude,
like,
he'd
yeah,
get like
it
it's
is
like
very
weekly. He's
end-based.
going
yeah,
to
he'd get like
office,
these like
the
little
office.
like little messages
Not
from
just-
like
not
from like
just the
other
Slughorn
students, and like he'd have to like meet Dumbledore somewhere.
He'd go to the office or something. They'd go into memories like Voldemort's
Yeah.
memories and shit like that. Like
So that
he-
was another
Oh,
Dumbledore's
they
got a whole
they go into a
collection.
bunch of Voldemort's
Yeah,
memories.
like they do.
how does he have all those?
like getting them from other people or like he's? It's like Dumbledore's constantly been. Like,
That makes sense. So
collecting
if
them
someone
throughout
else
the-
had
So
interacted
that's
with
why
him.
because they're
Yeah.
Slughorn's memories, and that's why it's fucked up.
well,
The
that
one.
that one
The one.
specific, yeah,
Yeah.
but like,
but also Slughorn's like so embarrassed by it, and like
That's why he changed it,
yeah,
right?
he changed
yeah.
it so like if someone were to just do
Take
what
it out of
Dumbledore
his
did,
head.
it wouldn't be
So
accurate.
could you you guys might not know this. I'm just curious. Can you like take someone's memory without their permission? Like, can you? Like, do you need someone to give you their memory? Again, I don't know. This is a very broad. It's just an interesting idea
like
to
I
me
think
of like,
you could take it from a Muggle
sure,
because I think
Oh, sure,
that
yeah.
they're non-magical. They can't even like fight. Yeah,
because he like Voldemort's whole family and stuff like that. How he was like his parents like met.
he was Muggle
All
born,
that
totally,
is,
right? Or was he
half-
half? Or he's half
He's a
magic?
half
okay,
blood.
yeah.
Oh wait, he is.
a bunch of them
Yeah.
are half.
As
I
is
knew it
Harry,
was. I
as
thought
is
it was at least
Snape.
half. Yeah.
A bunch of them are half.
So really, only
Seamus,
is
yeah.
Draco the only pure-blooded wizard that's really
The
like
Weasleys.
Oh,
So that's
supposed to
interesting,
be.
though. So you aren't even considered a pure blood, even if your mother, who was born from Muggle parents, who is magical, marries another magic person.
Yeah.
Interesting. But again, I think
Like
that kind
I-
of speaks
maybe-
to how
may-
the social constructs
yeah. I
of
was
this
gonna say
universe
maybe
work.
that detail got a little lost in the sauce
'Cause
because there's so much going on. But
Yeah.
Well,
Is Lily a
Voldemort.
Muggle? She is. You're or
She was Muggle born,
Yeah.
because
Muggle
that's
born,
yeah.
yeah.
and that's
at the beginning when he's like,
It's
no, don't
Hermione
mistake me for
all
prejudice.
over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like that moment
yeah.
with Slughorn explaining the fish and it turning from a lily.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah.
he is really great, and that whole scene of him even getting that out of him works.
Those two being drunk is so funny.
It's great.
Hagrid,
Yeah.
Harry just-
And he just, he goes back.
I was gonna say, yeah, because even Snape, like the
Half-Blood
whole
Prince.
yeah, but so
Boom.
they don't-
Again,
they
I thought
don't-
that was
they don't really
Voldemort.
go
I don't
into
know
it.
why, stupidly.
So
Right. You would think.
Hermione figures it out in the book.
Early?
No,
Okay, late.
she spends like a long time. She's kind of obsessed with figuring out who the Half-Blood
Yeah,
Prince
yeah,
is.
they're
She's
really-
pissed that Harry's like doing great in Penza.
Yeah.
She's
Right,
like
because of-
jealous
because of that book.
but,
And they-
but
Yeah.
smartly.
They don't really
Yeah.
give the book a lot of time with other characters. Like, we know Harry's using it, and we know Hermione knows he's using it, but they don't go back to it a lot, I find.
Well, he like hides it and keeps it with him and stuff. Like,
Right,
he
but
doesn't-
like it seems like clearly in the book, like Hermione's like really on it, but she's
yeah,
not.
She's trying to like badger him.
She's
into
more.
getting
She's
rid of
more
it.
upset about Ron.
Yes,
Why
Ron's
didn't they just
relationship.
destroy the book also? Was there like a reason for that?
It's not like it's.
I guess not bad, but they were like, no one can get the Sevo again. So I'm like,
Yeah.
just throw it in a fire. Again,
I
these
know-
are things
I know
that
what
I'm
you
not
mean.
necessarily like.
I guess
why,
now-
but
now
I
they
need you
have-
to.
I
It's
don't
just
know.
I'm like, why don't you just
They could have.
trash it?
could have
Yeah, that's what I
stabbed
mean.
it with a ballistic.
But again, it's
too.
not like a Horcrux. You could just throw it in a fire,
Yeah,
right?
you-
Yeah, it's a
like,
normal
yeah, it's a
book.
book.
destructive.
unless
yeah.
Snape had some crazy
Charms
protection.
on it.
That would be kind of interesting. Yeah.
No, so it's she finds out that Snape's mom's maiden name is Prince, and it's either and Snape's dad is Snape's mom or dad. One of them is obviously a Muggle, so it's the Half-Blood
I can't
Prince,
remember which,
and he
yeah.
uses that as like
Oh, so that was my next
Ah.
question. Why was his moniker that? Good. Thank you for
Yeah.
explaining. That makes sense.
because his
Or-
mom's maiden name is Prince.
He's related to Prince.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think that would be it. No,
The wizard
so,
formerly
So
known as-
Voldemort. Yeah, the wizard formerly known as
Like
Prince.
Hermione does like the whole thing. She's like, maybe it's not. Maybe Prince isn't even a boy. Maybe it's a girl. She does all
1999,
this
you know?
So
stuff, like-
Voldy's fine with half-bloods, as long as
Well,
you're
he
committed
is.
to
See,
the.
that's a whole other thing. Like, the
and
whole,
he is obviously a half-blood
Half-blood.
like that. So
Right.
He's
Interesting.
like wizard kind is his.
it's his bit.
Yeah.
Is his
Pure
go-to.
blood,
yeah.
I guess, is like more who falls in with them. It's like
Yeah.
Hitler.
No, that makes sense. No, exactly.
Like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
they say he was-
Yeah, I mean,
No, I think
not
that's, yeah,
all
pretty
Germans
allegory.
are probably fully German.
Well, no, but I think even with Hitler, if
Hitler
you were
wasn't
half
a
Jew,
German.
he was like, "Nuh-uh, get out." Like like I mean, like
You had
Yeah.
ancestry.
yeah, you had to be full.
the
So
Aryan race was.
yeah.
interesting.
Talking about the kind of Malfoy Dumbledore interaction there at the end, I thought it was actually really good, and I kind of will give. Why can't I remember his name?
Tom
He plays-
Felton.
Tom Felton, a lot of credit. that
Dr.
scene.
Alchemy in the Flash.
Absolutely. And I did love a little touch. I feel like I noticed this before, but my girlfriend actually pointed it out to me. When they're having their conversation behind Dumbledore, you can see out into the clouds, and there's like light peeking through, and it's a lot more bright. And when you go back to Malfoy, it's just dark clouds behind him. And like again,
Constant
like a little
foreshadowing.
yeah,
Or like,
or
yeah.
or just like kind of I guess speaking to the
Right.
themes. Obviously,
Theme.
it was nice little. Back
Oh, so I have a
stuff.
question for you guys.
Okay.
How do you like how they did that moment with
What
Harry?
moment?
Harry underneath, Snake comes out to him and goes,
The astronomy tower.
and the Astronomy Tower, and they do the whole moment with Dumbledore. And
I liked it. I didn't mind.
Yeah,
it.
I
Like,
think
I didn't know if
I
it was
think
like.
my opinion on the ending is a little dampered by the scene before, but yeah, it was
Well, but I
fine.
also think it's
I
hard
do
to
like
remove.
that.
I'm not unbothered by.
I think it's hard to remove what I already know, too. So like knowing where it's going
Okay,
might
no.
make me like it a bit more, if that
but
makes any
you weren't,
sense.
oh, you weren't,
Appreciate it.
annoyed,
Yeah,
you
I don't
weren't
know.
annoyed with Harry being quiet, like not
Yes,
doing
I was
anything?
kind of. Yes, I was. I definitely was like.
because Bellatrix Lestrange is up there with fucking Fenrir Wolfpack.
All right, I can tell you another thing.
Like, dude, there's
In
a
the
bunch of
books-
Death Eaters up there. He doesn't stand a fucking chance.
So in the well, there's no
And
there's no
Snape,
there's
and
no
Draco.
there's no Bellatrix Lestrange in the book.
She's not in this at all?
In this moment, she's not in it. In the book at all. I don't think
I love when they romp through
thought she
fucking
came in, but-
Hogwarts.
she does. No, she doesn't show up at Hogwarts.
okay.
I'm,
I just
I'm like
couldn't remember.
almost.
It's a fucking
I know it's
positive
like
on this.
the Carrows, Snape, Draco. I forget.
There's like a pretty big fight too betwing the Death Eaters and like
They
students.
really do
And-
they storm the fuck
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Like
but
nobody
it's-
stops them.
Yeah, but there's a good fight in the book after this. But in the book when they get back,
Hogsmeade Tower.
yeah.
Like all that.
yeah, so they get back and then like, do you know how like after they did their thing and they put the dark side in the sky?
yeah.
Yes.
Well, in the book they did that first as like a trap to get Dumbledore and Harry to get there, like
Sure.
to get Dumbledore to that spot, the
Yeah.
tower, and then Harry's underneath the invisibility cloak, And like Dumbledore knows what's gonna happen pretty much, so he puts a freezing spell on Harry.
Yeah,
so
I mean, it seems like he knows.
he
in
like
the-
slams him against the wall and
Yeah.
like stuns him in place.
That
Yeah,
makes
he's-
way more sense.
he's invisible
I
and
feel
he's
like
frozen.
than what they've done.
and like
yeah.
away can't talk.
Yeah, they can't. So
Yeah.
he's literal. That makes
So
so,
they have
much
no
more
idea
sense.
he's there, and he like can't do anything.
Yeah.
And
Because
then
I do
it
feel
all
like you're,
unfolds.
that is the one thing I would.
That's
disappointing.
pretty
yeah.
aggressive,
But it's
But
still,
no, but
it's
that
still
makes-
the
But like it
same.
makes sense. But I think in the movie it would have been like he's being very aggressive.
Yeah,
to
but
him.
then you also don't have. But like,
It's
Then
still,
you don't have that
it's still that
confrontation scene
Malfoy
at
is
the
the
end,
first
yeah.
one to come out.
Gotcha.
Because the door opens and he disarms Dumbledore, which he could never really do.
yeah, he,
like,
he clearly
He lets
him.
him. Yeah, he allows him to.
So,
Sure.
which is like key later. But yeah, he disarms Dumbledore like standard disarming
Why don't you
spell.
show me how it's done?
And then they have like that conversation where Dumbledore tries to persuade him and all that. But
Interesting.
because I remember that was like the one moment in the movie where I was like, kind of bothered me that like Harry would have just been quiet. And,
No,
like,
I
done
think you're
nothing about
1,000%
that.
especially after it happened, he's like,
Yeah, see that
Yeah.
didn't bug me for some reason. And again, you know the book. This is
And then-
book,
No, I
book
think that
bias a little
bothers.
bit
Now that
for
you're
And then
sure.
you
now
had
that you're
that
even talking,
moment
like,
where,
no,
like,
that does
Snape
bother
going
me. Why would you do that? Yeah. I did.
Oh.
I don't know. Yeah.
The Trejo, this is the example of something I would give you shit for that you noticed that I didn't care about.
Exactly.
This is-
Yeah.
this
No,
is
it's true. We get,
Like, because like I'm totally unbothered by
Gooch
it.
is
Really?
Gooch allows certain
Yeah, then
things.
they get out like, and, like Harry tries to have a little duel with Snape, and Snape just like
I did
he
love
doesn't
that.
he doesn't
where
like fuck him up,
embarrassed.
but he's just like
embarrassed is the
try.
best way. I genuinely think that's
it's
the
like
best
a
way to
kid.
put it.
It's a toddler fighting an adult.
Yeah.
Like it's
yeah, Snape's
he's
a
just
fucking beast.
But and again, Snape's like hyper powerful.
Yeah.
Like just low key.
Yeah,
but
I
very
do think that's
hyper-powerful.
something I would love to see. I think the most illustrative thing of the wizard's power in this was that Voldemort Dumbledore
Dumbledore
fight
scene.
at the end. At the end
Yeah, that
of
was awesome.
I was saying to
Or no, I'm
Gooch
sorry.
earlier. I know you didn't
Order
like.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
I know you didn't like that whole part you said, but like when Dumbledore is like on the practically on the verge of death, and Harry's getting they're inferni, those like things that are coming out of the water at him.
Is that
and
what
then
they
all
are?
of a
Okay.
sudden there's like that crazy
Yeah, the
firestorm.
yeah.
Like, that's I was telling Gooch like I'm trying to get a frame of that.
like him going
a
like,
poster of
"Shh."
Dumbledore.
You
up
definitely
behind him,
could
like,
find
That
something
4K
like that.
still.
Dude, yeah, like that. I love that scene. Like that's the duel is its own special thing. 'Cause
For
it's
sure.
two of the most powerful.
No, yeah,
with
yeah,
Dumbledore
yeah.
like practically dead, but still
For
just
sure.
kind of like being
Yeah.
able to pull that out of the hat and then get them back. Like
No, I mean
I
that's
love that
he's a
scene.
level 100 wizard. Absolutely,
Totally,
at least.
totally.
Yeah, like so he has been practicing his alteration
He's doing
as well as his
9
destruction.
damage.
Yeah, like it's all been
seriously.
his illusion even.
TPK. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's dead.
The only thing I know we're at the end. The only
Yeah.
thing we did not talk about was the Weasley's house getting attacked.
Oh right,
That scene.
Harry's a moron.
That scene.
I don't think it sets
Emotional.
up. I
That
get that
never
he's
happens.
emotional, and you're right. And again, I can.
and
struggle to
him and
remember
Ginny are
that
I
about
don't
to
think it
make
does.
out on Christmas, dude.
I always remember thinking that was an addition for the movie. I
It
just
is.
I
I'm
can't
almost
remember what
positive.
happens.
Because
in the book.
Bellatrix there too, and that's why I'm like.
And
they
Fenrir's there.
include-
Fenris or
I
Fenrir?
I remember.
Fenrir.
I
Yeah,
remember
Fenrir.
them including her, and I'm like, I don't think she's really in this book at all. They include her there in a scene that doesn't occur in the book.
Maybe because she had such an inclusion in Order of the Phoenix, they kind
Yeah,
of
she was just probably crazy popular, and people love the character.
right. They want to make her known a little bit too. You know,
I mean, I didn't hate those
remember.
additions, but like, yeah, that's
she did
event-
kill Sirius Black.
that event.
Oh,
Sort
I
of.
killed Sirius
Yeah.
Black.
Well, I
Do
guess
it-
in the book, yeah, she does in the movie.
Like I was thinking about what you were saying about like the night of like how they get back and the Death Eaters are already attacking and all that, and the Dark Mark's up in the air. Like, do you guys remember in the beginning when they're at the Weasley's joke shop?
yeah,
And they're
we
like-
skipped that too.
They're like, oh, Peruvian.
And we brought that up like a few episodes ago.
Peruvian instant darkness powder. Like,
Yeah.
there's like
Yeah.
a passing comment about that. So like that is used by the Death Eaters when Draco brings them in the Vanishing Cabinet. They go out and they drop the powder, and he's got something
In the movie or in the book?
in the book.
Okay.
And Draco has something from Borgin and Burkes or whatever that lets you see in the dark. This instant powder darkness, but like a Lumo spell can't.
Interesting.
penetrate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like
Oh, wow.
Harry
So the-
uses it in the train in the beginning.
Yeah, so they
When,
like
when fucking Draco kicks him in the face.
so they like sneak
Breaks
in.
his fucking
That's
nose.
like how they get in and like into the heart of Hogwarts.
Interesting.
And all
That
makes
so it's
sense.
just it's cool. Again, little nods. Like I like that they put that line. They tell you what it is in the beginning of the movie. Like obviously it gets use and all that, but
Yeah.
One
And-
other thing I thought, and I noticed, I thought he was in this. No Voldy. No Voldemort. I don't know why. I
Yeah,
thought he shows
yeah.
up in this for some reason, but he doesn't at all.
Do you think Ray Fiennes like couldn't do it?
I think they were saving their load.
he's also like not in it. It's all
No, I think
it's all
yeah,
flashbacks. and
I think that
Right.
makes sense. I think they were saving it. They were
Right,
saving him
'cause
for
we
the
got two
last two.
movies
Yeah,
and-
and
yeah.
where he really kind of obviously I think he takes more center stage maybe in the second one, but it's funny. Deathly Hallows 1 is probably the one I remember the absolute least. I might have seen the
Well, you know
least.
what happens at the end.
Of course.
Stop. Stop.
And I did want to mention, like, I think like every movie from Goblet of Fire on, we always end in a death, and obviously
A big loss.
Dumbledore dying.
What a rough couple of years.
Yeah.
I know. Dumbledore dying is like, I'm trying to think of like an analogy, like the morale is.
It's like when Gandalf.
totally
it's
shattered.
like
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
like
when
Gandalf.
Gandalf goes down, but
Yeah, I think it's comparable.
I
See,
imagine
maybe
that
if
was an
Gandalf
inspiration.
died like in the Battle of Helm's Deep, it would be different because it's only
From
a
the fucking
small.
ball.
What do you mean?
Balrog, man?
They died in a pretty similar situation.
What I mean by that is like, okay, well, only the Fellowship sees that. Like the entire school of Hogwarts is now outside.
I get what you. It's
looking
much
at
more
Dumbledore's
public of a
dead
dead
body.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Like
I see
they're
what
all-
you're saying.
And they all just
I don't know
standing
if there's
there.
a comparable
Right.
like loss like that.
Right. Yeah.
It's very much even like somewhat with Cedric, but he doesn't die. Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he
I know
doesn't
what
die
you're
in front of it. Well, not that Dumbledore.
Not that-
dies
It's actually
but they
very
go. They all go
similar.
see his
Yeah,
body.
it is. It
Everyone- the
actually is very
bodies-
similar
the
because everyone
stu-
pops.
The
Yeah.
faculty's there, the students are there, and nobody really knows
I was
what
even,
to do.
I'm trying to even think of like a Star Wars comparison, but even like Luke or
No, it's true.
everywhere,
It's usually like
only
this
the
happens
main
with the few
person.
people
Yes,
around.
Right.
Yes, yeah.
No, it's a good call. That's a good. That's
Or
a nice little
you know
point
what?
out.
Maybe
Just
would
didn't
be
think about that.
comparable, but in a different sense. Is it President Snow in Hunger Games getting killed?
Does he get? Yeah, he gets killed pretty
It's
publicly.
a
doesn't
very
he?
different.
Different given his.
His alignment is not.
nature.
It's not a
Maybe-
good thing.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe it's a little bit
But
like, like JFK.
Did that like cross my mind for a second?
what?
I'm like,
You have a
not
main
fan of
character
that.
getting killed.
We're going
with
with a main
Yeah.
character. The main character was
Yeah, JFK, the main
the main
character of the
character
story.
of America at that point.
Sorry, John.
Another name for the president.
Sorry,
the main
sorry,
character.
Jack.
Sorry, Jack.
Can we start calling the president the main character of America?
Biden is the main character.
He's presiding.
God
yeah.
bless him.
Oh gosh. All right, guys. I think that about wraps us up for our review portion of this fun,
trying to think if there's
fun
anything-
podcast.
I mean, just going off his death, there was like a pretty cool funeral scene in the book. It's like a huge funeral.
What?
Military salute, all that shit.
Like-
And that's so. When does he
Like,
get the? Oh, that's not
The
until
most
the.
famous wizards from like
Is there a-
the world show up.
Yeah.
Right.
There's
Yeah,
not an
everybody.
after credit scene in this, is there? Actually, am I forgetting?
No.
What's the one where he cracks his his
That's
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 the
the next-
end of one.
That's
Part
the end of
one.
part one?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't
Wait,
remember.
there's
that.
an after
No,
credit
no,
scene?
no,
It's
no.
not. It's like
no.
at the
It's
end, or
the
the
end
end.
of the movie.
The end of the
It's the
movie
last
is like
scene.
yeah.
It's like
yeah.
a shot. It's
Oh,
a minute long scene.
I think a
kind of
hook
thing.
must have came undone.
Yeah.
It's all right. This table, it's not gonna fall apart.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen.
Real quickly,
R.I.P.
what is the final scene? Is it Dumbledore and then
It's all them just kind of standing there, and
And
then
then
it
the
fades
ends?
out. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think of like literally the
No,
like the
it's-
fade to black.
It's
moment.
Harry, Ron, and Hermione up on the astronomy tower.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Talking about. Harry's like, I don't know where I'll be. I'll try.
Oh
to stay in
yeah,
touch
they're
with
like,
you."
and
They're
he's
like,
like,
"We're
he's like,
fucking
you
going
can't
with
come
you."
with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going with myself. I had to do
Right.
this. And
Yeah.
they're
I'm like, it's definitely not. It's definitely not the end on. Okay. Trey, you can do your fun facts. Sorry.
Alrighty, fun facts. I mean, this one's not as. I mean, it's good because
Is it fun
Yeah,
or
she's
is it
alive.
not? Let's be honest.
it's a fact.
Is it a
You
fact?
can decide.
Okay, yeah.
Dame Maggie Smith completed filming for this movie while
Dame.
undergoing radiotherapy as treatment for her breast cancer.
Yeah.
She had breast cancer.
Dude,
Yeah.
she hoofed it through a couple of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Also, this is a fact I didn't know, and I might be very dumb for it. But Dame is the feminine version of Sir. I always
You
heard
didn't know
Dame
that?
Judy. No,
Yeah.
Dame is
Judi
Jane.
Dench?
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
always heard it, but I was like, I don't know.
I thought
I
that was
think
like
I
a first
subconsciously knew it. No, I just didn't know what. I'm like,
A title.
I
of
only
some
hear
sort.
Dame Judi Dench. That's really the only one I can think of.
Right.
Sir,
And then,
well,
but
Alex
Sir, I hear a
Ferguson,
lot all the time.
Sir
where
Sean
Sir
Connery.
Dame, I did not
Conrad,
realize
isn't
that.
he a
Yeah.
sir?
So there's an extra layer of fun fact there.
Extra layer of fun fact for you guys. Another
fine.
one, the original script included all of Dumbledore's memories about Voldemort as outlined from the source novel, but David Yates insisted on trimming them down.
See, that makes sense because like as somebody
Dude,
adapting,
David
it's like
Yates.
this is the important shit. I'm keeping it all.
Yeah,
you
that
know?
does surprise me
They
that those
should
are
have
not.
because they really flush out like
Well, and he was like, he wanted to focus.
Voldemort.
He didn't really want to focus on Voldemort this much, but I'm like, why not? Like,
It's pivotal.
yeah, it's pivotal.
That's a
Give me that
bad
stuff.
move.
like
yeah,
you,
that's
like
a bad
you learn why he
directorial
hates
move.
Marvel.
Yeah, I
you
agree.
learn like why he hates his family, like all this stuff.
That that severely
First
impacts
people he
my,
killed.
Like, I think I've made up my mind about ranking, and it's based on
I think I have too.
that.
I think
and
I,
that just solidified that it was a decision, like
yeah.
from the director. You know, not like a.
Fuck him.
Which I guess that's
just-
his job.
Just to show that things never really change, but Warner Brothers received death threats for pushing this movie's release date from 2009 or to 2009 when it was originally scheduled for 2008. Things don't change.
WB pushing dates.
Didn't they push?
Well, no, but that's just movies and like.
Nothing's changed, folks. Nothing's changed.
Always
Uh,
late.
For our next
Those
one,
fucking brothers.
on one occasion in the book, in which Professor Slughorn obviously keeps repeatedly getting Ron's name wrong, he refers to Ron's character as Rupert in chapter 22nd, or in the 22nd chapter,
Really?
and he is of course played by Rupert Grint.
Yeah.
So it's fun stuff. This was the
To
first.
see you, Wembley. Yeah.
This was the yeah. Good to see you, Wembley. Great stuff. First film to not feature a Defense Against the Dark Arts class.
Yeah, we do get the
Wow.
teacher being Snape.
Yeah,
who
but
was
we never
who was
see-
a teacher before subbing. He was subbing before.
The number 7 can be seen repeatedly throughout this film, from Harry's jersey number to the number of stones on the windowsill in young Tom Riddle's room. This number is obviously very key within the story because of the 7 Horcruxes and that type of stuff.
Considered like the wizarding magic number.
That's like
Correct,
some
yeah.
Kingdom Hearts shit.
Yeah. Also, my birthday is on the 7th
Oh, was it-
December,
it's-
actually,
I-
Pearl Harbor Day.
I think that's also
You
You
very
bastard.
like.
I know, I
Too
did it.
soon.
I know
You're a
soon.
Horcrux.
I am a
We know
Horcrux.
it.
I think like in religions throughout history, like Christianity and other ones, like I think seven's significant.
It's also another significant.
There's
Yeah, I
like a
think you're
handful
correct.
of numbers that are like
Well, I
that,
feel like
but
you always
think
hear
seven's
also about
one.
7 just being a
3,
lucky
7,
number, too,
yeah.
for some reason.
Which there's luck in this movie.
There is. And
Liquid
for
luck.
the last fun
Lucky
fact,
sevens.
Slughorn's wand handle is the head of a slug. Fun stuff.
Ew.
It's not like it's a model, like it's a like
Yeah.
it looks like
No, but still, it's kind of
carved.
gross.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
if you see
fucking
it's
slug.
but it's just it kind of has the 2 eyes coming
That's
off.
cool.
It's hilarious.
Dude, he's like-
one time, I have a terrible slug story. We get slugs in our house back on Malin, and one day I came down barefoot
Oh,
and I
I've
stepped
stepped on a
right
slug
on one.
outside. Like
No,
putting Gina
I
out.
had bare feet and it was between my toes and shit, and I wanted to puke. It was awful, and it smelled
horrendous.
terrible.
That's
Oh,
horrendous.
Put salt on it.
That's well, yeah. It was
They're
just
not as like
salt in the wound,
sticky as
yeah.
you think.
no, but it was just the pop.
That's repulsive.
It literally gave me like as soon as I heard the pop, it like made me
Oh,
want to
you
throw up.
killed it.
Yeah. It was. I wasn't
All of his
looking,
body weight
and I
just
stepped right
this
on
thing,
it.
dude?
That thing was fucking gone. Oh man.
Like,
But
not let's rank this movie.
yeah, now we're getting into the rankings, boys. All right, so
Oh, I was gonna ask
is
one thing. How many Horcruxes do we have at this moment? That we know.
there's the book. There is we didn't get the
No,
locket right because the locket's still out there.
Don't include later information.
No, I know. I'm trying to think. As of
So
right now, it's the book.
No.
It's the book and that locket, which isn't really the actual Horcrux,
Just two- it's
right?
just two.
So just the 2. What's the
the
third?
third?
Oh, the ring. His ring too. as
Right,
well.
right.
Which Dumbledore, that's how he gets the curse.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
That's like the thing with the obviously you see like we see
Is that just like his family ring?
we see a better
It's his
version.
mother's ring, he
Yeah, we
says.
see a better
Yes.
version in like the later movie. But also I think that's a really good interpretation he did with
like what it looks like and how it's described.
yeah, like it's almost like like when you mentioned monkey paw earlier, like just having it on your possession like fucks you up.
Well,
Yeah.
and I was gonna. So, I have a question about.
Ginny's possession.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. I'll have more of a question when we get to the next one when it comes to what's her face, pink lady. But
Umbridge?
yeah,
Is she in?
because she's wearing one, right? We'll get to it. I don't
She's
wanna
in
get
the
ahead.
next one?
Yeah, or in one of them at least.
We'll get there.
Yeah. We'll get there. I don't want to get too out of myself. All right, guys. Let's do our individual rankings when it comes to the high tier, low tier, and all that good stuff. Gooch, where are we at?
Yeah, low tier film. You know what? Yeah, I'll keep it low tier film. I think I'm gonna ride low tier film for the rest. I feel like it might be like, yeah, I'll keep it.
Low
I'll
tier
keep it.
film.
Yeah, low tier film. Sorry,
Okay, no, it's okay.
I don't know what I'm saying.
No, it's all right. I do that too. If you need to think, we can move on to Penza.
Yeah, give me a second.
Penza
I mean, you know the way I view this.
series.
No,
The ranking system.
the rank system fucks me out because a film for me.
No, I
is
know.
different.
There's a lot of interpretation within it.
But I think this
It
is.
really depends on how
I
you
would
view it.
in this rank system. I
You
think it's a.
doubting
I
Luke
think
Cannon?
I think it's a film.
Okay.
That's what I'm struggling with.
But like it's a part of a massive series, which I think like almost all massive series are more of the movie genre or flick genre than film
Is
genre.
I
if
would
that makes
say-
Thor
sense.
the Dark World of film? Fuck no.
I would say high tier movie for me.
I think-
Because
think
I
so.
don't feel like the spectacle is as much in this one. I really feel like
Yeah,
Order
but-
of the Phoenix
It's
has
not, yeah.
all of it for me.
Yeah, but
really
the spectacle.
But you are
It's-
saying that's a step above a movie, right? For you,
Yes.
In this, it's not a separate
So, no,
category.
so-
it's the for you, it's the continuation of that's the next level. It's gold, silver.
let me ask you a question.
Yeah, I
bronze,
guess.
like-
What about the spectacle of like a Fast and Furious movie?
No, that's a flick to me. Those
See,
will
the
always be
bigger
a flick to me.
spectacles sometimes are-
But like,
could
I
become
guess
a flick.
sure,
I mean,
sure,
I
sure.
see-
But I
when-
think when adding spectacle into this
the
for me,
rating is situational. It is not a constant. It's situational to the movie you're watching.
to a degree, yeah. I
And-
think
and
I
the
think it's
re- and the
situational.
reviewer.
I personally,
I think it's
enjoy
situational
the
to
ranking
how
system,
you view
and I
the
don't like
system.
how we're critiquing it right
Yeah.
now. Luke wouldn't appreciate it. Fuck you guys.
Fair enough. I think the system works in your mind how you think it works. in my
Right.
opinion.
Yeah.
So I would put this as a high tier movie for me, whereas Order of the Phoenix was a low tier film because it had the dialogue, it had the spectacle,
Where are we
it
going,
had the
Penza?
magic.
Come on.
I don't know.
This
Fuck
was-
me up.
If I were to rank this film 1 to 3, 1 being the lowest and 3 being the highest in most regard, category per se, I'd probably put this in a 3.
I see what you're saying. Okay, so
I love how Penza
yes,
can't
all right.
just...
I'm picking up what
I
you're.
don't think
So,
it's a film.
Penza's
Like, I think it's-
putting it as
I
a-
get what you mean, but that's how.
Sounds
but
like
the
it's
way
a,
you
sounds like
described
it's a
it,
high tier movie.
but the way you described it is how you can view the system.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's
So
not-
if it's a high
yeah.
tier film, but like
Like I put
that's
it in the
exact-
film, but
Yeah,
like I don't.
but
think
that's
it's a
because it's so
film.
good to you in that way.
Yeah,
in a way,
I
yeah.
think
I think you're overthinking it.
But
I think you are a little bit too,
no,
but it's
I
okay.
think even
It's
like
alright.
even when we're talking about like the cinematics with like director with like
Yeah.
the color grade and stuff, like I think that's more of like higher art style.
Sure,
of
but I don't think
movie.
that necessarily on its face is just more of an art style.
I
I
don't-
think that's not very
We
used
we
very well.
view the system the same way. Like
Yeah.
the way
I get what you're
agree.
saying,
I put it
yeah.
3. I
Casey,
put it
do you,
2
do
or
you have
3.
your ranking? I have a quick aside if you're going to think for
Go
2
ahead,
more
go
seconds.
ahead.
We need to figure out this rating for games, but I don't know what it would be.
Yeah.
1, 2, or 3.
No, fuck your
No,
1,
no,
2,
no,
and
no,
3.
no, no.
We will. DNN will never have a number rating system ever.
Fuck,
It's too
man.
hard.
Never.
I know, Penza, stop emailing us about it. We will never have a number rating system, and I will keep
Then give
ignoring
it
it.
Luke's system, I think, is like fucking perfect.
I think
but
it's
it works
good
for
when
movies, not
well,
games.
and I think it works, and I don't want to. I hate
like a
saying
game,
this, like,
like
to be
What
like,
about-
what is
what
it?
about TV show? How do
A
you
game
just-
is mid-level, an experience is like I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
no, yeah, we'd have to workshop that.
All right.
Maybe we'll
What's your
talk to
fucking
Luke next
rating?
time.
Yo, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, bro.
I don't mind that. Anyways,
pretty good.
continue.
Oh, we'll workshop it.
We'll allow it
So-
for now.
You write that down. Write that down. Write
write
that
that
down.
down.
I'm torn between because it doesn't mean what you
guys are
think it's
thinking
gonna
so
mean.
hard.
I know you guys really
I'm
are
torn
getting
between. All right, relax. I'm torn between a low tier film
sure, and a high tier movie.
Yeah, it makes sense.
and like a mid tier movie. I
Interesting.
don't
Okay.
think it's a high tier movie because I'm not necessarily. I don't necessarily think it's. I'm with Penz on this one. It's more film like in my mind of this how this system works.
For sure.
Sure.
But if it's a film, I feel like I need to call it a low tier film to make it work in this
Get what you
system.
mean, no.
And if it's
Do whatever
a
you-
mo-
do
if,
whatever
if
makes
it's
you happy.
if it's a movie,
No, I love this.
it's
I wanna
not
hear
on the
this
same.
one.
All the other ones I've rated in the movie category, and it's this system fucking doesn't work because I rated almost every other one as a high tier movie.
Like, would you
But
say like
this
every
isn't my
tier?
least favorite, but it's not going to rate the highest on this scale,
Sure.
which is weird.
No, that makes sense.
Which
And
is
that's
weird.
why I think
In
the
terms of
other
overall
ranking
quality.
works the best in the way of when we're just literally
It's a-
ranking
yeah,
the movies.
It's a mid tier.
And I- let's
get-
yeah. So
I had a
to me, I'm gonna go with low tier film, but it's kind of broken on your scale.
In-
That's
in
just for the
conflict
sake of what it is. Yeah.
With what you're saying, not in conflict,
Wrong.
in parallel. I also was like, I really like this movie, but it's not number one.
So let's get
On my
don't
personal
let's
list.
get
That's it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let's
gentlemen. Let's get to the ranking. Is this film better than Sorcerer's Stone? Raise your hand.
Can we read off the ranking first?
Oh yeah, sure, good call. Right now it is at number 1, Order of the Phoenix. At number 2, Prisoner of Azkaban. Number 3, The Goblet of Fire. Number 4, Chamber of Secrets. And at number 5 is The Sorcerer's Stone.
Back to
Now, is it better than The Sorcerer's Stone? Raise your hand for yes. All right, that's all 4. Is it better than
just keep them up.
than Chamber? No. This is how this works. You got to put them down. God, we got to keep this going. Better than Chamber of Secrets? Yes. Alrighty. Is it better than Goblet of Fire? Okay. All right. Here's where we get really interesting. All right. So it is now at number 2. Is it better than Order of the Phoenix?
No.
No,
Prisoner
you
of
skipped one.
Azkaban.
Prisoner
Oh,
of
I'm so
Azkaban.
sorry. Is it better than Prisoner of Azkaban? No. All right. Then it is the new number 3 spot. Yeah, I think it's way better than Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I agree.
half.
So
I know, Gooch.
So
God.
Goblet of
sorry.
Fire. I hold animosity towards Goblet of Fire. I've said this before
Sure.
because I think it's like the non-book
The
reader's
culmination of
favorite.
everything.
A lot of times.
Order of the Phoenix is
It's better,
my
it's a
top.
better movie, but the book I would probably differ on.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's why the movie I'm kind of like,
They did an overall better job with that
Got it.
adaptation, I think. But
All right, good gentlemen. Thank you so much for this. With the new
He's got so
ranking,
much power
it
right
is number 1, Order of the Phoenix. Number 2, Prisoner of Azkaban. Number 3, Half-Blood Prince. Number 4, Goblet of Fire. Number 5, The Chamber of Secrets. And number 6 is The Sorcerer's Stone.
a little harsh. I mean, they're all good movies, but
No, exactly. No, that's just how it.
Tough
yeah,
having,
I
like,
mean,
No,
it's
but this is just
Sorcerer's
again.
Stone.
We
It's
are
just yeah.
It's a sliding scale. These
Yeah.
are all gradations of gray. You know, whatever you like, you like. I personally think this is, in my personal list, this would be one more up, but that's neither here nor there.
You put
Yeah.
it second? You guys
I'll
would have
put
it second?
yeah.
Two of
yeah.
you?
It was Half-Blood Prince was second for me. So do you want me to go to?
No, it's all right. We got it.
Okay.
We,
Yeah, it was like-
well,
it was
if we
Order
start
of the
going
Phoenix-
through everyone's,
it was
then
Order
we're
of the
gonna.
Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that
I
wraps
heard.
us.
I heard a tick. Did you hear that?
I thought I heard one too. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounded like the camera, but it wasn't. Okay.
it's recorded.
Yeah, go for it. Sorry.
No, you're. That's that.
I
That
was
does
like,
it
that
for us
wouldn't
today.
have gone off.
Yeah,
I don't know what that was.
that does it for us. Thank you. Please take the speaking wand.
Oh yeah, I do the outro.
Correct.
If you've been watching or listening on YouTube.com/Delco Network or Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, wherever you listen to your podcasts, we appreciate you. But make sure you go, if you're not watching on YouTube, go sub on YouTube. If you're not listening on Spotify, but like you use it for music, go sub on Spotify. Give us that rating on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. You know
Doesn't
what
hurt.
it is.
Yeah.
You can find us at social media at the Facebook.com/Delco Network, Nerd Network, at Delco Nerds, Twitter,
Basically on everything,
Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. I'm getting like confused. I think it's the wand. The power's getting to my head, man.
Yeah.
The power's getting to my head. I'm holding it. I don't know what I'm doing.
Find
And
all
of
this-
course, in the description, I got it, Trio.
I know,
In the
I'm sorry,
description, you can join our Discord channel where we have been reacting to the Hogwarts Legacy stuff. We're hyped. The collector's edition, $300. Casey doesn't think it's worth it. Penza doesn't think it's worth it, but fuck, man.
not.
You're a Harry Potter fan. I would buy it. Yeah, join us for more conversations like that, of course, in the description. And you can find all this information at DelcoNerds.com.
DelcoNerdNetwork.com.
Thank you. DelcoNerdNetwork.com. And then, of course, our Gmail, DelcoNerds@gmail. Comments, questions, concerns, things for the good of the group. Throw them at us there. That's been it, guys. 2 more movies left. Deathly
Home
Hallows
stretch, baby.
Part 1, and then we will do Part 2. They will be separate. We will not combine them like
Yeah.
we kind of mentioned. Or the idea was...
Convoluted.
We weren't going to cheat you out of those 2 episodes. We
That
need
would,
to do it
that would
right.
have to be like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
To talk about that, like, we get so.
And that's the thing. I want to be able to separate box office, all that good stuff. But huge.
For Trio, for Penza, for Casey, my name is Anthony Ragucci. We'll see you next time. Stay nerdy.